Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Transfer Watch on Chelsea Perspective. Good evening, good afternoon, and of course, good evening. And more importantly, welcome again. It is a window that's not so much has happened for Chelsea Football Club, but there is quite a lot to talk about. And I mean quite a lot to talk about. A lot has happened. A lot can happen in just a few seconds in this transfer window. And believe me, it's crazy. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Chelsea Transfer Watch show. Again, like I said before, it's a window where not so much has happened, but quite a lot to talk about because it is indeed crazy out there. And again, unfortunately, I think it's looking like it's going to be a disappointing evening for us regarding the transfer saga of Raphinha from Leeds United to either Chelsea Football Club or Barcelona FC. Again, if you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear me quite clearly. And as it is the culture here on Chelsea Perspective, I will start by looking at the people in the chat, finding out how they're doing, and then before I go ahead, and hopefully I'll have people join me on the panel. If not, I will roll solo. And believe me, it will still be so much fun. But that is by the way. Now, I'm going to get to it straight away. No time to waste here. The first person to like the video is my brother and friend, Phantom of Many Topics. He says, first to hit the like button on the afternoon show. Again, yep, you made it to the Champions League, plus you won the league, so it's a good thing. And Saruma here says, let's talk about our defense. I believe Raphinha and Ake is a done deal. You think, okay, you're in for the shock of your life, if I'm allowed to put it that way. Again, as you're coming in, be sure that you're liking the video. Let's aim for 300 likes today. That hasn't happened before, but I believe we can do it today. Keep liking the video. Again, as I always say on every show that we present here, again, you don't have to donate the channel. You being part of the show, you being part of the chart, you watching the show, even when you're not talking, those things do go a long way for the channel, and I sincerely do appreciate that. And again, it doesn't look like we're far away from 4,000 subscribers. I do believe we're able to get there in a few days. There's even a chance we'll get there today. Again, on Saruma, I hope you're doing well. Christopher Campbell says, yes, it will be better for both. Again, I think you're going to be disappointed, but we see what happened. Aki, not done deal, mate. Yep, it's not done, but I'm more hopeful that is to see Aki still across the line than I am for Raphinha, because I've always known if Barcelona won, if they prioritize the signing of Raphinha, they will get him. The fact is they're not broke. They have money. It's just that they are in debt. That doesn't mean they cannot. There are no ways that they can raise money. Coachella says, MC RAZ 3RD Ellis. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing it well. Okay, Henry Onye Ibubai. Nice to see you here, my brother. I hope you're doing it well. Aki is not really what we need. Again, you could argue that, but here's the thing I want to tell us all. If the manager is the person, again, because we've been told that the manager will be the one to point at the players he wants at the club. If that is the case, then we shouldn't question the club's decision to go for Aki. If the club is a Chelsea Football Club, if the club is going for Aki, then he is the manager wants him. And for some reason, I heard, and I also did hear that the manager, he's been looking to sign Aki since his days at Dortmund. So if he wants him, I'm not going to question why they want him. But if they pay anything north of 50 million, that's when I am not going to be happy. I'd be concerned. I've heard we're back on a contract for Jules Kounde. I'm hearing that too, but it remains to be seen if we can get the deal done. Hi, says Lucula. Lucula, it's been a while, brother. Let me know how you're doing. I hope you're doing okay, and I sincerely do mean that. Again, Chelsea being in advanced talks with Sevilla over Kante. I hope we get the deal over the line. Lewa would consider a move to Premier League according to Blind. Yep, he would rather play for Barcelona or Chelsea Football Club, but was still second choice. His preferred destination is Barcelona. So again, we'll get into that in a bit. But one thing I don't agree with is Aki for 50 million when he will be a bench player. He is worth 35 million. Again, you could argue that you and I the same. Do I think Nathan Aki is a good player? Yes, of course he is a good player. If you remember, when he left us, we were all furious. Chelsea fans were furious. We weren't happy that Aki left us for one reason or the other. But the truth is, overall, most of us knew that he is a talented player and wasn't happy that he left the club. I think it was for Bournemouth. We were hoping, that he stays with the team, that he gets integrated into the team, but that did not happen. So now we had a sell-on value. I don't know if we made money from the club selling him to selling him to Manchester City. I'm not sure if we made any money from that. But then again, I'm just reminding us that we wanted him. And at Manchester City, it wasn't like he's a bad player. He's done quite well. If you check his numbers aren't that bad. He's done quite well for them. It's just that Pep, in most cases, he takes time, to bring up players into the team. A prime example would be how long it took John Stones to become a regular, to become a starter at Manchester City. There was a time even, I think, where we're being Chelsea, Frank Lampard was told to go get John Stones from Manchester City, but now he's one of their starting players, and you could argue one of Pep Guardiola's most trusted defenders. But that's, by the way, again, according to reports, City rejected Chelsea approach for Laporte. Yeah, I heard that too. It would have been a good signing, but if you were Man City, you tell me, Philip Mukana, would you sell Laporte? He's Man City's one of best players. Again, I wouldn't consider that happening. Coachella, I was on Sky Sports, and I hear Chelsea in getting Raphinha. We are interested in Sane from Bayern Munich, Leroy Sane. If we're interested in Sane, I'd rather we get Sane than Raphinha. Again, for obvious fact now, if Barcelona at the end, if they were able to outbeat us, if they were able to pay more money than we offered Leeds United, then I'm for it. Let them take him. That has always been my concern. Again, I wasn't for the club to pull out for the deal. If we did, Arsenal will have a chance to get him, and that would have been even more embarrassing. So again, I'm glad we stuck on it. That is till the end. And now, if they get him, they're most definitely paying more than us. Again, it's that's my. I like it like that. Again, I'm not regretting anything. The window is still. We're actually not halfway into the window, so we'll still do good business. I know most people will be in certain. I'm not gonna like it, but it is what it is. We'll move on. So thank you again for that update. KK Henry says Aki is at same level as Chalobah now, so we need more mature defenders since Colwell is back. Again, if we're building for the future, all we need is just a balance, not more of mature players, but a mix of experienced players and the young players. I think that's a better way to do it. Again, we have 67 people watching, and we have 20 likes. Please keep liking the video. If you're just coming in, keep liking the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. There's something I've always said, and I will keep saying it, and I will not keep saying it. What is that? I've always told you, I'd rather you like the video than you donate to the channel. The likes do go a long way for the channel. Plus, you're already there supporting the channel. You're watching the video. You're commenting. Also, you're telling people about the channel. Those things, I do appreciate them quite a lot. Just Viola, the queen of the house, is around, and I know it will probably be for a minute or two because it's late where she is. She says, good afternoon, Kuchila. Good afternoon to you too. Unfortunately for us, it's looking like it's a bad evening for us. Hey, everyone in the chat. And Daniel Crane says, don't believe anything from Sky Sports because they listen to Spanish reports or who spit news out to favor Barcelona. We see what happens. Hit the like button, says Just Viola. We have 24 likes. Let's shoot for 300 likes a day. Please keep liking the video if you haven't. Again, that will go a long way. Suddenly, Vadio rumors have vanished, but he is a baller. Back three formation required two excellent ball carriers at right centre back and left centre back. Ligt is being chased to replace aging Thiago Silva. We'll see where we are with that. Chelsea should now focus on defenders, especially CBs. Chelsea has Chalobah, Silva, Levi Colwell, and Sa. I still Chelsea needs at least one experienced defender. Balance is key. Balance is key, and I can't say that enough. Again, we can't just go for youth because we're planning for the future. Or again, we need balance. We need experience. So we don't have a problem at the back line. And once again, True Blue here supporting the channel. This is a report. Pep looking at Kounde as Aki replacement. Being a bench player at City does not mean he wouldn't be a bench player in Tuchel's eyes. And players are worth what Tuchel Bolly think they are worth. Again, that's a very delicious. You could argue the first delicious comment of the day. Kachila, we just wait and see who will sign. I hope we don't make mistakes we made last few years when we got rid of big names like Salah. Again, those things. You must remember, most of those players, some of them wanted to leave, and when a player wants to leave your club, you don't force them to stay. Why do I say that? If you force a player to stay against their wish, they'd run down their contract and leave on a free. So if it would have been a small L, then it becomes a huge L. So it doesn't make sense to force a player to stay. Courtney, bless up. Nice to see you here. It's been a while. I hope you're doing it well. Please do let us know. I would prefer Koulibaly over Ligt. According to report, the agent told Chelsea, again, 40 million for who? If you're talking about Ligt, it's something north of 80. If I'm correct, again, we'll see that if we get Aki for the left centre back and Kounde for the right centre back, that will be a good business. We can get a Koulibaly as Thiago Silva replacement in the middle. We'll see what happens. Everybody seems to have forgotten Ampadu better than Sa. Again, that's another good comment there. Ampadu, why we let him leave alone is something that I cannot fathom, understand. I cannot tell why. I cannot understand. I cannot see any reason why that happened in the first place. He was on loan in Germany, and he played against Tottenham in the Champions League game. He had the Tottenham attackers in his pocket. And I don't know why that wasn't enough for us to see what he's capable of doing and bring him back. And my anger right now is that I'm suspicious, actually, that after everything, the Thomas Tuchel may well still let him leave on loan or let him go. If that happens, I will really be pissed. Arthur Lowe says, hi, Kuchila. I have given up on Ligt. We need a strong defense. And leaving Bayern to get the player just shows that Chelsea is still a way off from the top clubs. Aki want to solve our defensive problem. Again, I want to ask you this question, Arthur. How did we leave the lead for Bayern? I don't think so. And again, I will update you on why I think that isn't the case. Daniel Crane says, if you want to hear a truthful report for Chelsea, you have to listen to Matt Law, Ben Jacobs, and David Austin. I think I'm going to add David Austin to my automated live stream. Again, here it says Julian Obala, Evil Man says, I heard that Man City has entered the Ligt because we are taking Aki. What I heard was Jules Kounde, not the Ligt. And Courtney says, doing well, my bro. Just enjoying the beautiful Sunday evening here in Canada. Oh, that's awesome. That's nice to hear. And it's a good thing, more importantly, to hear that you're doing it well. And here, hello, everyone. Hello to you too, Chama Yosef. I hope you're doing it well. Again, like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please do listen to the Queens of the House. The likes do go a long way. Kachila, it's been always the same news for over a year that we've been getting a Koulibaly. It's not going to happen as if he was interested. We'll sign him. Again, we'll see what happens. Justice Adormoy says, I hear Amanda Broya did not go to US. Does it mean he's likely to be shifted out? Or again, no, I don't think so. That the reports, what we're hearing is that for some reason, I don't know what the reason is, he's going to join them in a week's time or so. Hey, Chama, hello, everyone says, Koracha Stanley, my Igbo brother, nice to see you here, and God bless you. Thank you all for finding the time to join the chat, to support the brother, and thank you for all those, to all of you that has taken a second to like the video. Please keep liking the video so that we'll be able to reach more people, because the more people we reach, the more funny it will be. Please get the likes up. Arthur Love says, yes, people keep liking the video. It says, nice to join you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, let's go straight to what we have. And if you're looking at this, again, I do not mean to ruin your evening. Again, that's not my intention. And like David Crane says, we shouldn't believe him. I hope in the end it turns out to be, false news. But if it is in fact the truth, again, I want to, it won't be the end of the world, but still, I'm not going to be happy because he's a player I wanted to see at Chelsea Football Club. So this is absolute Chelsea, and I trust them to a certain measure. That doesn't mean that they are always perfect. There's a chance, they are wrong, or maybe they're getting the wrong information. It says Chelsea target Raphinha is joining Barcelona, and he's quoting Mike Keegan. I don't know who's Mike Keegan is. Again, here we have another statement. That's another one. That's not about the Raphinha news, but this is I'm taking this seriously because I saw what's his name, Vince. He put out a tweet saying that Barcelona fans are gonna troll him to death or something like that, and one that says specifically that Leeds accepted something lower than what Chelsea offered to them. So again, he deleted that tweet. So I won't take this seriously until I see it from subsequent sources. But let's see what happens. And here we have Lusala said, if City wants to go after Chelsea targets, then Chelsea should stop the interest in Aki. Again, there's no way to confirm if they are really interested in the player in question, which is the Ligt and also Jules Kounde. I'm not sure that's the case. They know they're not stupid. They know as we're trying to negotiate a fee for Aki, if we hear that they are going after our transfer targets, we will pull out because we're paying them means we're giving them money to get their transfer targets. So, but again, the truth is, the other stuff I'm seeing out there is that Chelsea have in fact intensified the negotiation with Sevilla to get the deal to bring Jules Kounde to Chelsea over the line. It remains to be seen whether that's the case. Sadly, I think Raphinha is going to Barca. I think so too. Again, here's the thing: the misconception is out there is that they're broke. They're not broke. There's a difference between being in debt and also being broke. They're in debt, 1.6 billion plus, but that doesn't mean they don't still have income. They have sources of income. Millions are still coming, and they were able to sell 10% of their TV rights for 25 years for quite a lot of money. I'm hearing around 300 million plus. So you can't tell me they don't have money. The only difference is that they're spending carefully, not like about 4, 5, or 6 years ago when they were spending recklessly. Like they pay whatever money they have to get the best names in the world. That has changed over time. Again, so they're not broke. That's a misconception out there. Again, this is Chama saying hello to Just Viola. Shout out everyone. Santa DJ, nice to see you here, brother. I do hope you're doing it well. Gopal says, even English reporters have started reporting it to be a done deal. And I hope are you talking about Raphinha to Barca? I think it's in fact the truth. Kuchila, honest, the truth. What would your best buy player this season you would like to see at Chelsea Football Club? Delete. Is the man. Because she could argue we're not lacking in the forward areas. All the manager needs to do is just to tweak the system a little bit. If the argument is that we have specialty players in the forward area, then tweak it to suit the players. Let them play in positions where they have the independence to express themselves, the independence to be at their best. The solution is as simple as that. So again, Delete is the guy I want us to make sure we get. With Delete, Chalova, Reece James, who can also sometimes play in the right centre-back position, Thiago Silva, Malang Sarr, I think we will be all right, believe me. But I think we'll sign more than one centre-back. But Delete, I really do want the club to prioritize the signing of Delete because he's a born leader. This is to say hi to Shama. I understand that some of our guys are not vaccinated. That's something I don't want to talk about. Again, we got an email. Unfortunately, I didn't see it. It took my fellow content creators who alerted me to that, said, go check it out. I'm not sure why I haven't read it properly to say, okay, I understand what it's all about. Again, some of them aren't. And because you're not allowed to enter the United States. And again, selling those players also, it's a problem. Not every club will buy them because a club knows buying a player who's not vaccinated, you're buying a liability because in most cases you have a game in countries where it is required for every individual that's coming into the country to be vaccinated, and then you have a player who's a very important player to your team not vaccinated, and then they will miss the trip to that to go play that important game in question. Hi, this is Michael Obinka. It's been like a minute. Michael, let me know. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. I sincerely do hope that you're okay and things are well with you and your family. Again, we have 149 people watching and we have 40 likes. So if you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you very much. And thank you for 40 likes. We need just 60 more to get to 100. We're shooting for 300 likes. And I sincerely do believe we will get there today. Hi, Kula here. I come in peace. I like your program. Best wishes, Lalo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very, very nice of you. I honestly do appreciate you taking the time to say that. That encourages us here to do more. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good evening from here. Good evening to you too. Raphinha to Chelsea will be done next week, in my opinion. Cost that broke club Barcelona. Again, here's the thing, Daniel Cohen, I love you, brother. I respect you. But the truth is, Barcelona are not broke. They are in debt. And there's a difference between being in debt and being broke. They still have sources. They still have sources of income, very good sources of income. They sell merchandise. They have TV rights and all that. And their club, there's never shortage of sponsors for them, big name sponsors. So that's why they're able to sell their TV rights, 10% of it, and they got hundreds of millions from it. So the question is not being broke. They're not broke. They're just in debt, and that's not something they cannot get out. They're able to get out of it. Again, like say Raphinha going to Barcelona, I think it's going to happen for them. If I hear a news that proves otherwise, if I read anything that says otherwise, I'd be happy to see that happen. The Sky News don't lie. Okay. Now, Ampadu commits so many errors. His positional awareness must improve before we can consider him for the first team. Here's the thing, Melvin Appiah, Owen Bright. You could argue that the kid, again, he's still a kid. I think I should call him a kid, actually. It wouldn't be wrong to do so. He's played in so many positions, even during his loan moves. They played him in the midfield area, in the defense, in so many positions that alone can confuse him. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he is a fine talent. All he needs is just give him the opportunity. And again, I've seen enough to know that he's good enough to be part of the team. That tweet is not from a reliable, fake news. Okay, what are you saying, Just Viola? Do let me know. Guys, Barca is not broke. It's our biggest misconception. Thank you very much for agreeing with me on that. Barca, they have money, but they're in debt. And there's a difference between those two things. Daniel Crane, he's going to Barcelona. Sky Sports News said Barca got 24 hours to put a bid on and close on an agreement with the... Okay, I'm confused now. Excuse me. What I just read from you, MC, it just means that it's not done yet for them. They still have 24 hours to put up the bid or forget it. So it's confusing. That tweet hasn't come from a reliable source. It came out from a Barcelona Juno pushing fake news. Again, I hope that's the case. Sky Sports are not reliable. They listen again. I think you said something similar before, and I did read it. I says, I had a busy weekend. Now I am just relaxing. You see, I even took my time to say the word relaxing, as I know would suit your relaxation. And I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Chama, and I do hope your family are doing well. It's Tuchel going to shift to a back four. I don't know. Until the season starts, we'll see. Until maybe about 2, 3, 4 games into the season, we'll find out. I am loving this discussion. Greetings everywhere. Greetings to you too, Mensa. And nice to have you here. Have you seen Ampadu play for Wales? Again, not just Wales. I think he's a good player. The debt is 1.2 billion. The thing is this, debt needs to be paid in 30 years, so it's not the biggest issue. Thank you very much. I think this is another delicious comment I've seen for the day. The silent killer. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful comment. That probably helps me because I was going to try to explain it away. I don't think that would have helped at all. But thank you very much for taking the time to help me, say that. That will go a long way. Now, that's, by the way, I'm going to go back to the, tweets because that's where we get the news from. We've read this and I don't believe it. But again, I want to bring in Ty. Ty, you let me know what you think. Do you think this is the truth, or do you see anything else out there that makes you think it's all nonsense?
Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru, has said something about this.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, he didn't say it's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's a case where
if you need a minute to take care of the situation over there, I understand, Ty. You can do so.
That's not it. It's just it's outside. It's not really my concern. It's just something going on.
Right.
Anyways, all I have to say is that Romano has said Raphinha pushing with Leeds to get the deal done with Barcelona. He's trying to join Barcelona in the coming days after proposal improved. No final green light yet from Leeds. Dembele waiting for Barca approval after new 2-year deal agreed. Could be signed next week. So by this is saying that they're trying to get both of them, and in some strange way, they're going to be able to do that if this is the case. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to say is false, what is not false. And right now, all I can see is that at this moment, Raphinha wants Barcelona and he's pushing for it. I don't know about anything else, but what I will say is that if people want to say this is a Lukaku situation, it isn't. He's pushing for a move somewhere else. He's not obliged to us. He still leads his player, so if he wants to go there, that's his decision. I just think that Deco has broken a lot of rules to get this deal to be done, and it's not right. It's not. It really isn't.
Here's the thing. The rules, whether Deco broke a million rules, to get this to happen or not, I think that shouldn't actually affect the deal. The deal, if in fact whatever Deco is doing is to get the deal over the line for Barcelona, and if that comes to fruition, I will not stop. That is, I don't think it will. Whatever he does to get it over the line for them will not be a problem. Definitely will not be a problem. Again, Deco faces judgment independently Barcelona as a club, I don't think will have a problem, except if they indulge in bribery in one way or the other. And I don't think Leeds United also will have a problem. Again, let's read these and take time to analyze it and come to a sensible conclusion and be factual about what we think it is. Now it reads Raphinha pushing with Leeds to get the deal done with Barcelona. He's fighting to join Barca in the coming days after proposal improved. No final green light yet from Leeds United. So this part of the whole thing means Leeds. This is no different from what we've been reading from the past few days. What we've been reading from the past few days, we're learning that actually Leeds United have said we have an agreement with Chelsea Football Club, and you haven't measured their bid. And it will still stand on that, except if you do better than they know that they're willing to do. And that's it. So nothing has actually changed. I think this is just a simple what has been happening to us since this transfer window. This transfer window, truthfully, it is a silly season, but it looks like it is, especially from the perspective of Chelsea Football Club, it looks like it's crazy. It's seriously crazy. Again, but we'll see what happens. Dembele also waiting for Barcelona approval after 2 years deal agreed, could be signed next week. So I just don't understand the aspect of the Dembele waiting for Barcelona as approval is something that confuses me even more. Like in the morning, I had to use the sentence that I thought about it and I nearly got my brain fried because they have an agreement, according to the reports. They have an agreement with the Dembele camp. The Barcelona camp and the Dembele camp have come to, they've agreed on the deal, the structure of it and everything. Then why are we still waiting for the board to approve it? The board, Laporta and the Barcelona board were part of the negotiation. They were part of the process of structuring the deal. That's something I don't understand. So the whole thing is simply everywhere, and it's so confusing that sometimes I just don't want to look at it. But that's, by the way, I'm going to go on and try to catch up with what we have in the chat. I still don't think that Raphinha to Barcelona is a done deal. I think which is they just twisted what we've been hearing for the past few days a little more. It is the same story. Nothing is different at all. So now we have 209 people watching. We have 209 people watching, and we have 46 likes. Come on, people, we can do better than that. And I do appreciate our 46 likes already. It's not easy. We're just 36 minutes into the show. And please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video. And like I've always told you, please, I'd rather you like the videos than donate to the channel. Already, you're doing enough to support the channel. You're part of the conversation, whether you're watching and you're not commenting and you're not in the chat, you're doing enough to support the channel. So thank you. Thank you. I'd be ungrateful not to thank you for 52 likes already right now. And thank you for hitting my call to like the videos. Please keep liking the video. We're shooting for 300 likes by the end of the show, and I cannot thank you enough. So Ty, when you're back, do let me know. And I understand the family comes first. Whatever you have to take care of, please take all the time you need to go take care of it. And here we have a Tribly says, is that the Sky News who said we had signed Raphinha, who went to City and our club shop manager got fired for printing shirts? Get things right or wrong. Again, some people have have sources that they trust. It is like that everywhere. I'm not going to name names. There are news networks that I can trust here. They're the ones I'll bet my life that they got it correct. But then again, we must learn, to dissect and also analyze information before we conclude that something is it's like A, B, or C. But that's, by the way, Ligt no better than Colwill, but having him would be great. I think at this moment, I think he's better than Colwill. He's got the leadership quality in him. Here's why Ligt is special. I took my time to research the games he's played for Juventus, and boy, talk about versatility. Again, he epitomizes what you call versatility. In the back four, he can play in the middle. That is as one of the two. He can play in the middle In the back three, he can play on the right-hand side. He can play on the left-hand side. He can also lead the back three. He is that good. And again, in a team, in a Juventus team where you have Chiellini, he's captained that team. That's to show you how much of a leader he is. He's a natural leader, plus he's good. And forget that nonsense we're seeing out there. A lot of people saying some nonsense about and comparing him with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire wouldn't hold the line for him. He's that good. He's a better player, even at his age. He's better on the ball than Harry Maguire. So again, it's not an argument I'd like to go into right now. Again, keep liking the video, people, and thank you for 72 likes. We're shooting for 300 likes, remember, and I do believe we will get there. Now, Daniel Crane says, do you lot want us to start moving like United now? Anthony, no, he is overpriced and not good enough for us. Again, that's your argument. Says, Gopurnet says, we as Chelsea fans are just going to get roasted for spamming on Barca accounts that Barca is broke. We will regret this. We cannot match their pulling power. That's no secret. They have a very rich history, and at this point, that's not something we cannot match. But now you could argue I think the future looks brighter for us, and it's looking for them because they are in debt. But that's something in a few years. If they plan this up themselves well, they should be able to be. They get out of debt and then be well positioned as long as they don't continue to spend recklessly like they did in the past. But that's by the way. Check fans. Let us tweet. Who fans? Can you share it in the chat? And again, if you're on Twitter, please do share it with me on Twitter. I'll be able to share it with everybody. Chelsea Perspective, check Fab's new Twitter on Raphinha. Okay, can you share the link with me, please? Again, that would be helpful. I wish Chelsea had a preseason tour up north Canada. Yeah, maybe something closer to the border there. I forgot what country in the United States that has shares the border with the United States. I'm not sure. Can you let me know? I think I've actually traveled from New Jersey to New York and some other states to go watch Chelsea games whenever they come to the States. And this time I'm not planning to miss it because they actually got to play a game in my state. Killer Ray, nice to see you here. He says, Barca's second bid was turned down. Did they make a third one? That's a good question. That's why I say this whole thing is everywhere. All what a Chelsea Football Club need now is a defender. And again, the Ligt was serious about the Ligt and nothing has changed, but I'll go back to the Ligt in a bit. Again, I'm going to skip quite a lot of comments here. Fabrizio, has spoken. What did he say? I think we read it a minute ago. That again, he didn't say he's joining Barca. Again, we have 184 people watching and 78 likes. We're shooting for 300 likes. So please keep liking the video. And thank you for all the support. I cannot thank you enough. And if you haven't, do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. My ideal window would be the young, the Jules Kounde, Anthony, if not Raphinha, Dest, who can cover both on the right and the left. I think that's a delicious comment, actually. I don't know, were you the one that told us a few days ago that you heard that we're interested in Anthony Ajax? Again, he will be a good signing. But even if at the end it is the truth that Raphinha will be joining Barcelona, I will still not panic. I'm so confident that we'll do good business this window and that by the time the window shuts, we will have a good window because, yeah, the owners, he's a smart guy, and I do believe he would want to start very well. Again, it will be bad for him if, in fact, he's not able to get in not all the transfer targets because there's no chance you get all the players you want. You will try some, miss out on some, and get some. But one thing I'm going to say here is this. There's a chance that by the time the window shuts, we'll be looking at players we didn't even know the club was talking to. There's a chance that happens because they do their research, and this time they're working with numbers. They're not just going for the names. They're going for names that they know will fit into the manager's project. Again, but right now I'm not happy. Why I'm not happy? Because we're not going for Jonathan Klaus, who's, you could argue his numbers overall are brilliant. 11 assists and 5 goals. And I think if we sign him, He'd help us. He'd give Reece James he'd be a good competition for him, and he will force Reece James to do even better than he's done. And I hope. Yes, bro. I traveled to Nigeria and just coming back today. I'm good, bro. Miss you, bro. Miss you too. Miss your show, bro. Miss you too, brother. And I hope the travel went well. Being broke is even better than being in a huge debt with 1.5 billion. Again, Barcelona is not a small entity. They're a big business, and believe me, they will recover. Again, Coachella, I think we need a number 9. I think we should get a Tammy Abraham back. He was class. Let's talk about this in a bit. If we're asking for the club to get a traditional number 9 again, while Thomas Tuchel is still the manager, it just simply means we're not paying attention. We don't know the man. We don't understand the manager we have. We're not paying attention to what has happened while he's that is for the duration of time that he's been our manager. Now, if you follow Thomas Tuchel, I'm not going to go as far back as Mainz. Let's start from Borussia Dortmund. At Borussia Dortmund, he didn't use a traditional striker, a traditional number 9. He had Dembele, which wasn't actually, he played on the flanks, but he had a former Arsenal and now Barcelona player, the Togo, I think is it Togo? Where's he from again? Congo. I'm not sure the country again. Aubameyang was his number 9, and he's a hybrid number 9. He's not a traditional number 9. And then at PSG, he had Mauro Icardi, he had Edinson Cavani, and I think it was under his reign that the club bought Mauro Icardi from Inter Milan, and still he didn't use them that much. You could argue that was one of the reasons why Icardi left Inter Milan. You could argue that was again that clearly shows you the man doesn't use traditional number 9s. So why? And then we wasted money in bringing in Lukaku. Lukaku underperformed. He didn't do well. He had issues. He didn't fit into the manager's approach to the game. Does that mean Lukaku is a bad player? No. There are things the manager could have done to accommodate Lukaku's style of play, to mask Lukaku's deficiency, if that's how you want to see it. But he didn't do those things, and he openly said he was never going to do it. So it'd be stupid to even to be looking at traditional number 9s. We'll just waste our money, and at the end of the day, if Tammy comes back, and believe me, we will regret it. And I don't think he will even come back. He's not stupid, because Tammy was under him. Tammy was a top scorer under Frank Lampard. Although you could argue that Tammy's issues started even Frank Lampard when he had the chance to sign new players. We started seeing less and less of Tammy Abraham, and it got worse under Thomas Tuchel. So why would he want to come back under Thomas Tuchel? And he had Olivier Giroud, who's an even better striker than Tammy Abraham, more experienced, better on the ball, and still he let him go. So why are you suggesting we waste money to go get him a traditional number 9? I wouldn't do that. Check Fab's tweets. Again, if you can share those things with me via Twitter, I'd appreciate that. Again, I have issues that are things I will try to do on this screen. My screen will freeze, and you're not going to like that at all. So we don't want to risk it right now. Again, there's quite a lot of comments, and it's just me. I think I will skip a few, and then I will try to read your subsequent inputs in the chat. So, but please, my apologies. I cannot read them all. And again, I want to ask you, if you haven't, please take a second to like the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And like I've always told you, I'd rather you like the videos than subscribe, than donate to the channel. You're already doing enough by watching the videos, commenting in the chat, and also sharing the video with your friends and family. The Queen of the House here says, I sent you a DM. Thank you very much. And please, if you're a mod, pay attention to the newcomers here. Always say welcome to them. It's not easy. Again, I cannot do it all. I cannot do it all at this point. I will skip a few things, get to the bottom, and then I will try the best I can to catch up with your subsequent inputs in the chat. Again, apologies if I skip anything you have there. Again, if you haven't, please take a second to like the video. Let me see what next we have here. I had them all lined up for us to look at them. I think we've looked at this one. Again, this is about a delete. I'm not concerned yet. I took my time to do a research. We hear in a day or so, or a few days, that Bayern is going to get him, that we don't have a chance. The truth is, it turns out none of the clubs, not Chelsea Football Club, not Bayern Munich, has actually made an official bid to presented an official bid to Juventus. All those things we were hearing out there were all lies. And this is absolutely, as I said, there's no issue with their contract offer to Matthijs de Ligt and that's Bayern Munich. But Juventus are waiting. Pay attention to this aspect of this comment. It says, but Juventus are waiting Bayern Munich and Chelsea FC's opening bid, which clearly shows none of the clubs have put in a bid. So everything we'll be hearing for the past few days are just absolute nonsense. So that's why I've always advised the followers of Chelsea Football Club to not believe everything they see. Take your time, dissect the information, look at all the sources, and then put two and two together and come to a sensible conclusion so you don't make a fool of yourself or you're not misled into believing what's in fact not the truth. Again, thank you very much. Philip Smith, my brother from India, says Barcelona have been given 48 hours from Saturday's night to come up with the bid that Leeds would accept. The Barcelona last bid was rejected. Again, we'll be hearing 48 hours since 1926, and still nothing have changed. Serie A is easy league compared to the Premier League. You could argue that if Barca get their second lever, which is to sell 15% more of their TV rights, there will be 200 million to spend. We better act fast because I am sure players like Kante will join Barca. Again, that's another argument. Phantom, you cannot say Serie A is an easy league. Again, there are things that that define each of the leagues in the world. The Premier League it is the physicality, it is the pace, and again, you could for the Serie A. I'm not sure what makes it. You could say I think they're not as physical as the Premier League. The pace of the Premier League is also quicker. If you're in the shot, let me know how you think the Premier League differs from the Serie A. No way like the EPM. That's just the truth. Again, says journalists are singing the same song over and over and over about Raphinha. If Barca really had the cash, they would have matched our bid and not offer installments with cash. Rice and beans. Yeah, what a way to phrase it, and I really do love that. Again, if you're in the chat, please take a second to let us know where you're watching from. We have 226 people watching, and we have 222. We have how many likes? Sorry, we have 91 likes. Just a few to get to 100. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. So if you haven't, take a second to like the video. Let me see the update that I've been sent to. And Ty, I'm seeing your private messages. We will talk in a bit. I don't want to start reading that so the public can hear that. Again, let me see. Just give me a second. Let me see what that has been sent to me here in a bit. I will take them one by one. Okay, just give me a second quickly, and I'll share the link with you, Deals. Just calm down. Just give me a second. I will be with you in a bit. Let me see here. Just Viola shared a link with me. I'm going to go through that. Okay, I think that's the same link that Ty, who was that shared? I think we've seen that one. Bench a couple hours maintained. They want both players. Again, yep, I think we've actually read that. Again, it is my argument is that it is everywhere. You cannot say that just, in fact, whatever you see from one source is the answer. We've looked at this also, and we're going to look at this. This says Juventus valuation for the lead starts at 100 million euros, which is 84 million pounds. And Bayern Munich's chief will meet with them next week. Here's something I want us to remember. Bayern, they've said they don't want to go into a bidding war with Chelsea Football Club. And if you know Bayern, if you follow them, it's not like they don't have the money. They do have the money, but they're not into such situations where you see them try to outbid a club. They're not that kind of club where you see them try to outbid the club, or maybe they don't, and they said it openly. They don't want to do that, but that doesn't mean they don't want to leave. I think what we've heard is that they're trying to convince the player to want to join them. They haven't done anything. Again, that's a chance. That's not even the truth, because from what we read a few minutes ago, Juventus hasn't actually received open bids from not Barcelona, not Chelsea Football Club. So that actually on its own, just categorizes everything we've heard before as nonsense. So it doesn't make sense to believe them in the first place. And I don't know if this one here is about the Ligt. Let me see, what else do we have here? This is just happening now. This was from Fabrizio Romano. He says Bayern director Hassan Saliham. Okay, I'm just gonna forget about the last name. Apologies. Hassan will be in Italy tomorrow, as reported by the name you're saying there. He's gonna open negotiations over the Ligt. No issues on contract proposal, but Juventus are still waiting. Again, pay attention to this place. To everybody who's saying we've lost them to Juventus, to Bayern, that's not just the truth. No issue on contract proposal, but Juventus are still waiting for Bayern and Chelsea's official opening bid, and that hasn't happened. But I don't know where people are just making up stories and feeding it to people who are hungry, for anything that comes out there. And this one says Raheem Sterling is awaiting the result of his Chelsea medical before flying to the United States to join the squad. Okay, some good news. Let's calm down a bit with some good news. That's important we do that. I think the most important thing, as it looks like right now, we have, I think you could argue that our first signing of the window, we've gotten the deal over the line with, the agreement with Man City has been finalized. We have personal terms agreements with the individual himself, the player himself. So again, I think this one has crossed the line. Hopefully, the result comes in clean. That we're not going to see anything wrong, and then you could argue, okay, the first one has crossed the line, and believe me, a lot more to come this window. And again, I'm just going to move on from that one. If there's anything else to address here, we're well. I'm not going to read anything about this Barcelona again. I think it's taking us too much time. And this just shows you it's everywhere. And this was like 2 hours ago or so. Yeah, 1 p.m. 2 hours ago, and this also was like 3 hours ago. So again, I'm gonna stop reading about the Barcelona story, and we have to move ahead. And let me see what everybody has on the chat. If there's anything I'm supposed to address, I will do my best to address them. The silent killer says last Barca bid was not rejected. Okay, you see, that's why I said it's everywhere. A page posted an interview with Fab regarding latest transfers. He misunderstood it and put a wrong headline. Later, he deleted it and changed the thumbnail. I hope you're paying attention to that. Again, you cannot say anything is done. Abraham score EPL. Not as many goals. If that was Barca's old ball, they would do so. But Laporta is 10 times a player. He will play every trick in the book. He is a genius. Are you saying in terms of negotiations or so? Again, but that's, by the way, if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, just put it there and I'll try to address it. If I don't know it, I'll ask the chat to help me. Again, I don't know everything. I've read that again. And this is Daniel Crane says, what I get from Fab's tweet is nothing new. It's recycled news. We have known for weeks that Raphinha is pushing for Barca, but they can't offer a lead to what they're asking for. And again, we've also learned that the rumors out there that he's not going to join, that no matter the situation, he was never going to come to Chelsea Football Club. It turned out that we learned that later that was all nonsense, that he's open to join Chelsea. And I'm not going to try to go into why I think the reasons I think he's probably waiting on Barcelona. Again, I don't want to do that. And this Zabairu Raymond says he's watching from South Africa. And then Bobby Smokey Signal, nice to see you, brother. I know it's very late there. Nice to have you around. I hope you're doing well. And Brentford London. Thank you very much. Nice to have you here again. I hope things are well with you. Just Viola, again, let me see. South Africa. Thank you. Nice to have you here, my African brother. I hope you're doing well. Again, from all over the world, Barca had 270 million euros from the first installment of First Liga, another 70 to come. They had La Liga restrictions, not UEFA. They need to shift bodies. Hence, Raphinha installment. So that makes sense. They have money to get Raphinha if they want. And again, let's talk about something here. It's not the difference. What the problem? The delays we're hearing, even the delays of them completing the re-signing of Ousmane Dembele, comes down to the board together agreeing to what the structure of the deal they have with Dembele, and they've already agreed with one. That's the aspect that confuses me actually. So I don't know why it is like that, and there's a chance that after getting Raphinha, they may well forget about Dembele because when we talked about it in the morning, I argued during the Blue Morning show. That's a chance they turn to Dembele and say, you know what, we don't want you anymore anyway. You can just go.
Just an update.
Yeah, go ahead, Ty. Give us the update.
Um, Apparently, Fabrizio Romano has said that Dembele is at Barcelona airport to discuss his new 2 year deal until 2024. He posted it not long ago.
So which means there's a chance to get them both actually, and I think kudos to Declan who argued in the morning. I think he did the same yesterday. Also, he argued there's a chance we won't get any of them. But I think that begs the question: what would the club now do? What that is their decision regarding Hakim Ziyech's future. I think, and it looks like what we've been seeing that Hakim Ziyech is nearing an exit from Stamford Bridge. He was going to join AC Milan. I think that on its own has died down. Have you heard anything about it recently? Because if we're not getting Raphinha, we're not going to let out. You could argue he's our most creative player. Why let him go if we don't have any replacement for him? Ty, I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think that the club was planning to let him leave before they brought in somebody, and
Mm.
I think that's the most sensible thing to do. You you get somebody in first before you allow them to leave. So I do think that in that sense the decision could be if he, nothing comes out of this and Chelsea get no right
Mm.
attacking player, they may end up keeping Ziyech.
Mm.
But I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah, again, I think there's a chance the club will not let Hakim Ziyech leave because it will not make sense to any measure that if we're not getting Raphinha and then we end up letting Hakim Ziyech leave the club, it will be very, very stupid. I must say that. And again, something I never wanted to happen because he is, you could argue our most creative, that is, player. Why let him go? That's something I just don't understand. Again, if you can see me, sorry, I think my screen is frozen and I just don't know why. I will see if I can fix it in a bit, or maybe Ty, if you can hear me, do let me know. And if you're in the chat, please just type that you can hear me. Let me be sure. Again, my screen is frozen. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to continue the show if that's the case. Ty, can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to check the chat. If you can hear me, If you can hear me again, just bear with me. I'm going to try and fix my screen. I have a frozen screen. That's me trying to share the screen with you. It got frozen. I'm not sure why that happened, but if you can hear me now, I think we can carry on with this one until I'll try to sort it out as soon as possible. Again, the transfer it's everywhere. It's confusing. Again, it's some people are depressed. If you ask me, it's not something you look at and simply and easily come to conclusions on what you think is going on. I'm looking at what we have in the chat here. If you can hear me, okay, you guys can hear me, but I'm going to shut that one out and try to come back in again via a different window to see if the situation is sorted out. Let's wait for, please do wait for me. Give me a few minutes. I will sort it out quickly. I'm not sure why that has happened. I just don't understand. It's frustrating, really. While I'm waiting, I think I'm going to put out the poll here to ask you a question to see your thoughts. I'm waiting for my screen to come back on. Too many screens are open. I'm going to ask this question here. 1 second. Okay. All right, there you go. I have the question here. I'm going to ask you guys to keep you guys a bit busy while I'm trying to sort out the technical issue I'm having right here. There you go. Thank you. Try answer that for me, and then I'll be right back in just about 30 seconds. I will upload the window again, and I'm so sorry, guys, that this is happening. And again, but it will be back in a bit. Technology and how it works. Yep, Ty, if you can hear me, or if you can keep talking, and then in a bit I'll join back again, and that will be very, very helpful. But apparently Ty himself looks like he's having issues, and they have Daniel Crane there with some information. Probably trying to share quite a lot of information that caused the problem, but I think we will be okay. And if you're a mod, please, as you're seeing all this nonsense, show up there. Please do block them quickly as possible, so we don't have too many of them. I'm not going to use this here. I think I'd rather open a different window. Let's see what that's done. Just give me a minute or two. I will be back with you guys. Oh my gosh, why is this happening? All right, let's see. All right, just give me 1 second. I'll be right there. Okay, what should I just turn off here to make this thing go fast? I'm not sure. Okay, there you go. I think we will most definitely be fine now. Just give me a few minutes and I'll be there with you. So sorry about the whole nonsense. All right, this is the guy I'm looking for here. Just one moment, just. All right, let's. I have. Yes, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your patience. Let me know if you're in the chat, if you can still hear me, please do let me know. I appreciate all your patience. And I sincerely do apologize for what just happened. I'm not sure. I think it's the heat. Maybe the AC was off. That's probably what's caused it. I felt a little bit of cold, and I thought I should turn it up, and then it got worse. Okay, let me find out where I am. I was looking at this up by Adam. Adam says that nothing that we can do about Raphinha now. He had his mind corrupted, brainwashed by all of his Spanish, Brazilian, and Portuguese mates and all that. Again, Adam, you were the one that preached it you said he was going to come to us, and I'm surprised how you changed your mind. And when you talked about it, when I asked you your sources, you couldn't say, but that's, by the way, again, I understand these things happen. Again, like we said on occasions during these shows, we've always argued, don't believe all these things you read. Only believe them when it really, when it happens. When you see the player holding the shirt and we get an official statement from the club, that's when you know that, yes, in fact, we have signed a player. But that hasn't happened. Coachella and panel, I'm going to go off now. Thank you, Queen of All Stream, Queen of Chelsea Perspective. Nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well again. I appreciate you finding time to be with us. I know it is very late where you are, so go ahead. You enjoy your night. See you tomorrow during the Blue Morning Show. And Phantom of Many Topic says, what did Todd Bowley and Laporta talk about? Marcus Alonso transfer price. Again, that's a chance. They may have agreed, and we don't know. Again, like Bobby argued in the morning, I think the best thing to do will be just relax. Look at how things pan out as a transfer window. We get more into the transfer window. We get a clear idea of what they may have talked about during that meeting. There's a chance Chelsea knew they were never going to get Laporta. Maybe, but they were never going to get Raphinha. But we'll see what happens. If they tricked Bowley, I think that would be a big lesson for him. See you tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy your night. Bye, Charles Viola says. Again, let me see if there's anything else to talk about here. This is Bobby says, tired of the wheel here. Wouldn't be, to be honest. Chelsea FC need to be exploring all the options from Raphinha. They may well be doing so, but there's no way to tell whether or not the club has been doing it. So again, I think most of us knew before time that there's a chance he goes to Barcelona, and the rumors that Barcelona, will be able to get one of Raphinha or Dembele now seems like all nonsense, because we're hearing Dembele is at the airport now. That's from Fabrizio Romano, that he's on his way to Barcelona to complete the new 2-year deal that they presented to him on the table. Again, that just shows you what lots of stuff we see out there are absolute nonsense. Fabrizio Romano just published a video showing Dembele arriving at Barca to sign the new contract, and they still, from what we're hearing, they're also going to get Raphinha. So we'll see what happens. I'm still hopeful, but if it doesn't happen, that's not the end of the world. Phantom Alonso has speculated transfer, and the young price. Probably, do you like Frankie? I do like him. I do like him. He's a player I want at the club. I think he will be an upgrade for Jorginho. He's more physical. He's quicker. He progresses the ball very well, and he gets you goals. But it remains to be seen whether we're serious about getting him. I don't think he'd prefer Manchester United over us. Yes, he's worked under Erik ten Hag, but I'd argue anytime, any day that he probably prefers coming to us because we have Champions League football. And you could argue that he will look at it, and there's no guarantee that Manchester United will make it into the top 4 and get Champions League football this coming season. It's as simple as that. Why block you? Who blocked you? Let me know. If anybody blocked you, probably it was by mistake. I don't think it wasn't. I don't think he was intentional. Please do let me know. Fab's tweet is key. If Dembele is resigning, so to speak, they are not getting Raphinha. Someone close to the club has already said they're not having both. Again, someone who there's no way to confirm that. I get your argument, Daniel Crane. Again, Dembele and Raphinha may well both end up at Barcelona. There's no way to say. There's nothing to show us that they can only accommodate just one of them. That's just an argument we'll be hearing for a while, and that's not in fact the truth. But we'll see what happens. I think they just, because they know they have a pool because of their rich history and all that. They try to convince the player to make, to help them to negotiate a lower fee, which you could argue that may well be what Raphinha has been doing for them for a while, because we're hearing, and again, it comes back to hearsay. There's no way to tell if that's the truth. Lalo says we can hear you. Thank you very much, Lalo. Is it Lalo? Let me know if Lalo. What language is that? I really do want to know. Please, thank you very much. Yes, okay, thank you. I'm way too behind. Will have to scroll to the very bottom of everything we have here, and then I will try to read the subsequent inputs in the chat. Apologies, I do not mean to do that. Remember, I don't have a studio engineer. It is just me right now. So again, I think this was actually in the first place designed to be a freestyle, and the main topic being Raphinha. And if anything else, we see anything new out there, we will most definitely talk about it. But at this point, let me keep. I'll let you drive the conversation. If you have a question, put it in there, and if I'm able to answer your question, I will. If I'm not able to do so, I will ask for help because I don't know everything. Kuchila, that's what I said. We wait when they will be holding the shirt when they are at Stamford Bridge, and when we see an official statement from the club saying we'll sign a player A, B, C, that's when you can say, yes, this one is a done deal. And please, people, thank you very much for 117 likes. We have 216 people watching. If you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That will go a long way for the channel. Thank you very much. I says you can only apologize, but I can speak for Deco or his wife. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's the truth. Barcelona are going into bankrupt. No, they're not. It's simple. That's simply not just the truth of Philip Smith. They are a very, very, I think it'd be right to say they're very, very strong entity. They have a good foundation. They have a very rich history, which attracts big name sponsors. And they were actually able to sell some percentage of their TV rights because they are Barcelona. And the buyers also know how strong of an entity they are. So they won't be shortage of buyers in terms if they want to sell their assets. And again, there are so many ways that they can make money. You can't, no, they won't. I don't see that happening. If it happens, I'd be surprised. Todd Bowley and Laporta talked about a phantom becoming a form. Yeah, I get that. Apologies for what? Why are you apologizing? It's all my fault. I'm not sure. Oh, Adam. Oh, what you talked about Raphinha coming to it? No, it happened. Again, you're only human. And again, you probably had somebody that told you he's coming to us. And it's not over yet, actually. It's not over, so I must let you know that. So calm down. You haven't done anything wrong. I must let you know that. Raphinha, a disappointment of a man. His girlfriend has influenced his decision. How do you know? How do you know, Gumpley? You let us know. I want to know. So we can't just jump to conclusions and say the situation is like A, whereas it was never close to being an A, probably a C. So again, I don't believe that. Again, Dembele has signed a 2-year contract with Barcelona. It's not finalized yet. Does Tuchel prefer the Ligt over Kounde? There's no way to tell. I don't know. There are so many factors into play right now. It is very confusing, and I don't want to try to wrap my head around it. I'm going to be, I'm going to go nuts. Bobby, welcome to the panel. How are you doing? Again, you start wherever you want. If you want to talk about the news that Raphinha is joining Barcelona, if you have anything else to talk about, go ahead, shoot for it.
I haven't heard this news that Raphinha is definitively joining Barcelona.
The key word there is definitively. So I love it. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Bobby.
Okay, so they've met the payments required.
Mm. Are you still there, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm here. Anyway, no doubt about it. Raphinha would have been, an excellent player to acquire, but I don't think he was crucial. I think I tried to post something that we should be looking elsewhere or indeed we still have Hakim Ziyech, we still have Callum. We need to just find ways to use them more effectively. So it's not that big a loss. Our problems still remain in defense, and that's where we should be focused. So,
And it doesn't look like we're doing so much. We're not trying. Maybe because we don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. Maybe go ahead.
Yeah. So, although we did the right thing, we went for a player that we felt would be helpful to us. We put in a bid, and it hasn't worked out. That's fine. We move
But
on.
I wouldn't say it's over yet.
I thought you said it was definitive.
No, I said the keyword that you use. You said isn't definitely. That wasn't that what you were saying. You were trying to say that it's not over yet. What did I misquote? Am I misquoting you? You let me know. I thought you were saying it isn't over yet. That was why I highlighted the. Go ahead.
I was saying was that what I saw from Fabrizio Romano was that he's pushing for a move to Barca. Well, we know that already. We already know that. That's not new, although Fabrizio has just posted that. So maybe he's pushing harder. Who knows? But in view of that, I think we should keep our bid to keep up the pressure on Barca. But we should be looking elsewhere. And at the same time, we should not hurriedly sell off Hakim Ziyech because we still have players in that position. We're not desperate for Raphinha.
No, we're not really.
It's not like Ligt that we are actually desperate for that position.
Yeah, again, I don't think it's over yet. I think I saw something. It comes exclusive. It says Barcelona set to win the race. Set to win the race. They haven't won it yet as a table late bid. They just tabled it. That's a chance Chelsea comes in. If they're paying you 63, we're paying you 65. And I think you could argue Leeds United, they will most definitely respect the agreement we have in place because they've already agreed a fee with us. So I don't see them going to say, okay, now we've decided to sell Barcelona without reaching out to us and say, look what's happening, and we're looking to sell the player to them. What do you want to do? What do you think, Bobby?
I mean, if they say, look, we're looking to sell the player to them, and it's for less money than we've put down, we do nothing. We're not going to be dragged into that nonsense because that means they want to sell to them, full stop. But if they are looking to sell and they have equaled our bid, then that's another story. Then it's a matter of, do we want to bid any further? Personally, I wouldn't. I would just leave it because the player has indicated enough that he wants to go to Barcelona. So if they are going to equal our bid and indeed pay our bid, fine, let them bankrupt themselves. That's okay. But if they are going to pay less and Leeds turn around and tell us, look, they're going to accept Barcelona's money, I don't think we need to do anything. I think as far as Raphinha is concerned, we are in a very comfortable situation. It's the journalist that's trying to make a drama out of it. We're comfortable. He would be a very welcome addition, but we're not desperate for him. As I keep saying, the positions we are desperate is in the defensive positions.
Here's where I'm confused. I think they said our bid was around, I think, 60 million. And from what the tweet I saw previously from Vince was that they are selling Raphinha to them for around 50 or less. But I'm seeing for the Daily Mail that Barcelona will pay 63 million. But the question is, I think the structure of the deal is where has always been the issue with Leeds United. But it wouldn't make sense to me if they accept, for them, they're practically getting him on credit. I don't know if you understand that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I think I'll just keep looking for what we have in the chat, and if there's any question to address, we'll go ahead and address it. Do you have anything else to say about that, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Barcelona want to pay 63 million.
Okay, you saw that on the screen too, yeah?
No, I mean that's according to Absolute Chelsea, who keeps repeating things that are sometimes outdated, and we want to pay 75 million. 63 million obviously includes add-ons. 75 million
Oh,
for
hold
us
on, let me
includes.
get this. We want to pay 75, right?
So 65.
65.
So that
And
is
if
we pay
yeah, go ahead.
60 up front and 5 million in add-ons. I don't know what they want to pay up front, but coming up to 63 doesn't add up. To be honest, whatever they do, it's not our business. I don't think we should care. If Leeds want to sell with us, to us, there's the money. If they don't, fine. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't think at this point we should bother. If the player's coming, we should welcome it. If the player's not, we either keep what we've got or look elsewhere. I'm not stressed about this situation. People are trying to make stress out of it. The stress belongs to Raphinha and belongs to Barcelona.
Here's the truth, Bobby. I think everyone, especially Vince, his tweet reads that he just doesn't understand. If that's the case, if they're paying a lower fee, and we've actually agreed to pay more plus the add-ons, which is we're paying like nearly 10% more. The question will be: is it maybe Todd Barley? There's a chance he may have struck some sort of deal with them to get a player or two from them, and then he's just, I don't know. There's something that hasn't come into my head right now. Go ahead, Bobby.
This is not complicated, right? We offered to pay, let's say 65 in total. It's as simple as that. They accepted our offer. They have told Barcelona to match the offer. Now, if Barcelona have bid about 4 times without matching the offer, or rather, this would be the 4th time. If on this occasion they haven't matched the offer, it's up to Leeds whether to take it or reject it. If they accept it, fine. That's got nothing to do with us. They've accepted our bid, and if they've accepted a lesser bid from Barcelona, that's okay. That's okay. You know, we're not in that. That's their prerogative. That's got nothing to do with us whatsoever. But it's something we will remember if ever we do business with them in the future. However, to be fair to them, it's slightly out of their hands because the player is insisting on going to Barcelona. So they might look at it and think, okay, look, we need to get rid of this player. And the best way to get rid of him is to accept the bid that's close to Chelsea's bid to the place he wants to go. That's fine. I'm not bothered with any of this, and neither should Chelsea be. We've put the money on the table. Take it or leave it. If you don't want to take it, that's fine. I think the headache belongs to Raphinha and Barcelona. If Raphinha wants to sign for them in the situation they're in, fine. That's up to them. You know, that dressing room can't be harmonious with players taking wage cuts and losing bonuses. There's no harmony in that dressing room. There are big problems there. That's their business. We've tried to get this player. They want the player. The player wants them. That it's all about them. It's got nothing to do with us. At this point, we should be looking elsewhere. And if we don't, we've got enough to develop within our ranks. This is not the position that we need to worry about. The position we need to worry about is the defense.
Yeah, again, but we still have like I remember you arguing the importance of finding a much stronger midfield. You know, but you talked about how oppositions muscle out of midfielders, that we need a stronger midfield. But that's, by the way. Now, again, I'm going to try to catch up with the chat. We have 220 people watching. We have 129 likes. Remember, guys, we're shooting for 300 likes. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video. And I'm going to repeat myself. This is something I've said a million times here. I'd rather you like the video and you donating your hard-earned cash to the channel. Again, you being a part of the conversation, being in the chat, typing, and you also watching the video, telling your friends about the channel. Those things do go a long way. You're already doing enough to help the channel, so I cannot thank you enough for that. Again, it says Barca need to watch at least a 60 million price tag for Raphinha. Again, if they're overpaying, that's the business. But I don't think 60 million for Raphinha means you're overpaying. I think he's good enough, and there's a lot he can offer to whatever team he joins. And here I say they need to watch. I knew that was what you wanted to say. Owusu Isaac says, will Barca sign Lewandowski? I don't know. Again, we can't. There's no telling what will happen. I think they've already made a bid, of which Bayern rejected, so to speak. It remains to be seen whether they will go back with another offer, but we'll see. I'm willing to fall on my sword here. Lewandowski will be coming to the bridge, and new leagues are emerging, and Chelsea will be pushing all the stops to not lose any more targets. Was Lewandowski at any point at Chelsea's target? I'd argue otherwise. I think those things were all rumors. Those things were all rumors. But Bobby, did you at any time think that we were really seriously looking at Lewandowski?
We haven't made any moves for Lewandowski. Whether we like him or not, I don't know, but we haven't made any moves for Lewandowski. And as far as I know, he has said that, yes, he would like to go to Barcelona, but he wouldn't mind a move to Chelsea. But the question is, do we want him? I'm not sure we do. As I said, the forward positions is not where we're desperate. The media is trying to make a meal of this for their own ends. We're not desperate. We got tangled with a player that Barcelona wants. Barcelona are paying all kinds of money, creating more of a financial problem for themselves. That's their business. We're sitting cool. If Raphinha wants to come, fantastic. If he doesn't, great. Go bankrupt Barcelona. We don't care. We either buy someone of his ilk, or if we can't, we've got enough. As I keep saying, defensive midfield and centre-back positions, left and right-back positions are where we should be focused on now.
I get your argument. It doesn't even look like we're prioritizing signing a defensive midfielder. Maybe they're talking to one. We don't know. There was a time we saw, we heard that they were looking at, what's his name? Forget about not Declan Rice, this Ivorian. What's his name again? I've forgotten his name.
The Portuguese guy.
The Portuguese guy is the latest. I think that was a month ago or so. We were linked to the Ivorian and also another guy in the Premier League, Sangare, and then Bissouma, both of them. And I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, it died down. And then the rumors quickly shift from Sangare and Bissouma to, what's his name? To Declan Rice. And then that one also died down gradually. We haven't heard much about it. So I'm not sure what's happening. Again, I'm not going to, panic at this point, because chances are we just don't know who the clubs are, who we're talking to and what will happen. And you can also argue it's not over yet for Raphinha. Maybe what we're hearing are just rumors, being engineered by Spanish media. And again, because it's rare for me to see Vince put out a tweet and delete it. He put out a tweet about that, and then a few minutes later, he deleted it, which means something isn't quite right. Because if you pay attention to the story, to the Raphinha story, it is just the same thing we've been hearing. It's just been, recycled. But we'll see what happens. And then Bali should make a statement to the Barca board that they need to know, if they do not explain if they are in for Raphinha or Dembele, or do not make it easy, or sell Aspi or Alonso to them. Again,
Why?
I don't know. I just don't understand. That's I was gonna Steve Crony, can you explain further why you think we should do such a should happen? Again, we have 249 people watching, and we have 137 likes. Remember, guys, we're shooting for 300 likes. So if you haven't do subscribe to the channel. I will, again, skip to the very bottom so that I'm all caught up. And again, apologies if I skip your comment. Remember, again, it's just me. I don't have a studio engineer. And Dan Parsons says, I think Barcelona are just disrupting by putting out interest in all these players. They cannot sign Raphinha. Will be world class, but Lewandowski is the real deal. We must sign him. Again, if you're talking about signing a player, before you do that, think about whether the player will fit into how the manager plays. Thomas Tuchel, if you follow him, you learn that he likes to play with strikers who can press from the front. So bringing in Lewandowski means it's simple. He cannot press that much. He's an intelligent player, quite all right, but pressing is something that you will not get 100% from him, which means he'd have to adjust the way we play to accommodate him. And now that will bring up the question, why didn't he do the same for Romelu Lukaku? But again, I'm not the manager, and I've said before that I'm going to stop. Go ahead, Bobby, if you want to say something.
Yeah, I want Barca to buy Lewandowski. I really do. I want them to buy everybody. Buy Lewandowski, buy Raphinha, sign Dembele, buy Jules Kounde. I really want them to buy all these players. I do. I really do.
Can you tell us why?
Saturate that team with all their targets. Buy. Let's see what happens. I promise you, if they get all these targets, they are going to be in almighty problems. And everybody should just step back and not buy any players from them. Sell them everybody. Sell them everybody. Honestly, just step back and not buy any players from them. We don't need their players. Who have they got? De Jong? Okay. Who really needs De Jong? Really? Even Man United, do they really need De Jong? Apart from that, there's nothing. Raphinha, do we really need Raphinha? Do we really need Dembele? These are luxuries. And if they want to live outside their means, that's fine. We shouldn't be bothered by what they're doing at all.
Yeah, again, Forbes Cruz says whether you think Ronaldo is going to end up. I'm not too concerned about Ronaldo's next club. I have to be honest with you. Do I want him to come to Chelsea? I'd say no. Again, for personal reasons, and I'm not willing to go into that argument right now. We have others who'd argue that he'd do well at Chelsea. He'd score goals for us. And again, I and my host here, Louisa, like we've argued before, we've watched that movie before. And that was the same thing we said when before Romelu Lukaku joined us. The only thing we need is just a goal scorer, somebody that will put away that chances, forgetting that the chances will. Big up to Big up to you too. Forgetting that the chances we were missing wasn't from a single individual. It was from multiple players, not just a single individual. And then we've got Lukaku. And again, we see, and then we got to find out what happened. Again, I do mind. Again, says I think Ronaldo will go to Sporting Lisbon. Okay, that's where he started his career. It's only natural that at this point he goes there, or maybe MLS. They pay in bulk at the MLS. He gets a lump sum of money, quite a lot of them. Again, but we'll see what happens. It's okay for Raphinha to go, but Barca must cough out the money equal to what Chelsea is willing to pay. That's very good. That was one of the reasons why. Yes.
I'm liking what Bobby was saying just there about Barcelona.
Go ahead. What did you say?
I'm liking what Bobby was just saying there about Barcelona. I pray them to go get all the players that they're definitely to go get, because they will be in some serious trouble. Yeah, people forgetting they owe money to the Liga. Yeah, and do you think they're gonna let this slide? I don't think so. I think they'll be in serious trouble.
Here's the thing. I have to tell you the truth. I don't think they'll be in any sort of trouble.
You don't think so?
Because it just seems as if those players they're dealing with are all very stupid. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
They will survive. And look at this. Look at something else to learn from. In Spain, TV rights are club by club. and Real dominate. EPL is centralized and managed by EPL management committee. But there, you negotiate for yourself. Whatever you get, it's yours. So that makes a huge difference. And that's why they are able to sell 10%, and they got nearly 300 million plus. So the problem is, I think here's where I have a problem with the Barcelona, how they treat, you could say, why would you, again, they have governing bodies out there. In Spain, we have UEFA, we have FIFA. Why would you hear that they have a buyout clause of 230 million as a buyout clause for a single player? That's one we heard that's $1 billion plus. It just doesn't make sense. If you're trying to regulate how things are done in the football world, you ask questions about such things. Because if you don't, things will get out of hand. To me, when I heard that about, again, I'm not going to start arguing how Andreas Christensen was playing it all smart at Chelsea Football Club, moving the goalposts 3 times, and then goes to Barcelona, and then with his lawyer, maybe his family members were there, and he signed a contract where on the contract there's a 230 million buyout clause. To me, it just means even if in 2 years, before that the buyout clause kicks in, when it kicks in, actually, even if they owe you your life savings, if they owe you $40 million, you can't do anything because you're still on the contract. Who's going to pay that amount of money to get Andreas Christensen? Who is he? So I'm not sure they're not in any sort of trouble. They're in debt. There's a chance there's no. Every individual here in the chart and on the panel, you owe some amount of money to someone or for something, for the credit card you're using or something like that. And that's the big entity. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. They have a rich history. The name is on their side, which you could argue that's the reason why you see players, you see Andreas Christensen, who has not even been registered. If he's been registered, I don't know. You see Kessie from AC Milan. Again, you see all these players. You see Robert Lewandowski. He wants to join them. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to say something.
I know. Yeah, because my argument is, they even got the players like in the old days, like Messi, Xavi. They haven't got that no more. And this is my argument. Yeah, why are players wanting to go over there when they even got the world class players like they used to? That's my argument.
It's a history. You just want it to be part of your record that you play for Barcelona. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Yeah, honestly, Coach, we have no problems. Honestly, we have no problems. This is their mess.
Yep.
Let them sign whoever they want to sign. As far as Raphinha is concerned, I'm at peace within myself. We've done everything we can. We've done the right thing. If he wants to go there, fine. If they meet Leeds, look, Leeds are not stupid.
Yeah.
Right? I would look, Leeds Raphinha is trying to put Leeds under pressure and create a situation where he will force them to take less money from Barcelona. Now, Leeds will be looking at this. They'll be doing a cost-benefit analysis of this, and they'll be looking at this in terms of other players. If
the fact is what we're hearing is the truth.
Yeah, if it's true at all.
Yeah, go ahead.
And they'll be looking at other players, and they'll be telling themselves, "Wow, so if we actually buckle to this, does it mean that other players that want to leave will be able to hold us to ransom?" So it is a three-way problem. It is the problem of Leeds, it is the problem of Raphinha and Deco, and it's the problem of Barcelona. Chelsea have nothing to do with this. If he wants to come to us, fine. If he doesn't, fine. If Barcelona want to sign Dembele, fine. If they want to sign Lewandowski, who we're not even looking at, fine. If they want to sign Jules Kounde, fine. I don't care. I want them to sign all these players. I really do. I want them to do it. I dare you. They They're not going to sign them. In fact,
Here's the question. Go ahead, Bobby.
They'll
Go
probably
ahead.
wake up on Monday morning and find they backed out of Raphinha. It's foolishness from all parties, players, clubs, everybody. It's absolute foolishness. But it's got Chelsea's fine. Chelsea's fine.
Here's what I want to ask you, Bobby. We
Yep.
talked about that. I think you were the one that you talked about that at length in the morning. You said as the transfer window progresses, we will get to understand. We'll get to at least we'll have to a certain measure have an understanding of what they may Laporta and Todd Bowley may have discussed at the table. The question I want to ask you: if it turns out that he's joining, he ends up joining Barcelona, and we find out that they paid less money than we offered, and remember they're not gonna. The plan from them, the offer from them is that they're gonna pay instrumentally. They're not gonna pay how much we're putting down. If we found out that they paid less and they were able to get him, does that play into your mind that they may have discussed him at the table during that meal, as Todd Bowley referred to it, and the agreement was, okay, we'll let you get him. You think that's the case? Again, this is just my theory.
No, I don't. His name probably came up, but there will be no agreement between them and Chelsea to let them get him. I don't think we're that stupid. We've got the offer on the table. If Leeds sell to Barcelona for less money, they're doing it just to get rid of the player, and they're gambling. How are you sure Barcelona is even going to pay them that money? You see what I'm saying? Even you walked away. Oh dear. So I don't even know why we're bothering with this. This isn't a problem at all. It really isn't.
Yeah, again, we're just frustrated, and it's only natural. Again, we're fans. We love the club, and again, it's just going to be funny. Yeah, go ahead.
The journalists are trying to make it look like it's Chelsea's problem. This is not Chelsea's problem at all. It's not Chelsea's problem in any way, shape, or form. They're trying to make it, Raphinha doesn't want to come to you. Oh, you should be stressed and all that. No, not at all. We've done what we need to do. Fine. If he doesn't want to come, that's his business. If he wants to come, welcome to Chelsea. If not, rock on. It's all good. We're not. I don't see this issue. I'm not even bothered about it anymore. Really. I am not bothered about it at all. It's a. Even all
I want to get to
this news that suddenly come out.
Go ahead.
All this news that suddenly come out. Oh, he wants to go to Barca. Oh, they've put in another bid. It's all fake news. It's all fake. If they put in another bid and they haven't met Chelsea's valuation or Chelsea's bid, that means they put in another failed bid. If he wants to go there with a club that's failed to bid appropriately for him 4 times and he can't see the red flag, then he's a bigger fool than I thought. Let him go. Let him go. This is not our problem at all.
Yeah. Ty, your thoughts on this whole Raphinha conundrum. Do you think it's over? Or you think it's all nonsense? Because if you take your time to look at it and pay attention to the whole thing, it's just recycled. It's everything we've been hearing for the past few days. It is, in fact, no difference. Ty, are you still there?
So I was talking, but my mic was still muted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems as if it's all recycled news. The thing is, for me, is it's difficult to really look past the fact that the situation right now is that they're saying that Raphinha is pushing for Barcelona, which is not something that we were unaware of. It was something pretty clear. No, I'm not.
Deals, do you have anything to say? I think Ty has a.
Coachella?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead if you have time.
Yeah, I was saying that not
Ty,
nothing
you
has.
sure? You sure you're good? You sure you're okay?
Yes, I am. I'm just trying to think of the best way to speak in terms of this.
Mm-hmm.
The situation with this is that we haven't seen anything that Raphinha has pushed for Barcelona and has snubbed
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea. That's the only thing we haven't seen. That was the only thing that would really be new. The right now all we're seeing is that he's pushing for a move. He's apparently pushing Leeds to accept the bid. But even if he does that, that doesn't mean that these are going to do that, because they know that the moment they do that, and if it's less than ours, they're going to there's something that's going to have to be done regarding Chelsea, because I'm not sure if they have to pay a compensation fee. I don't know if it gets that far, but
Yeah.
I do feel like that if they accept a bid that is financially, or rather the monetary side of it is less than ours, then that can't go without being mentioned, and that has to be looked at. So I do think that, in terms of this, if it's a case where they've made a bid that has passed ours, then I can say, you know what, maybe this is going to be happening then. But right now it can't, and I think, the important person to look at in this whole situation is Deco, because Deco is the one that went to Barcelona,
Yep.
got funds, got some assurance, said that these are saying that if they're gonna put this clause that if they get relegated, you can get him for 25 million.
Mm-hmm.
No, clearly that didn't happen. They stayed up ironically because of his help, and no, because of that, because they went, because he went and got some agreement and personal terms with you know Raphinha and Barcelona. That situation became a case where, okay, maybe if they get relegated, then we can get it. No, Chelsea were unaware of this, I'm assuming, and they've made that bid, hoping that they can get the personal terms agreed. They have the Leeds agreement set in place. The funny thing to me is that both parties, in terms of the clubs, have an agreement with some other party. That's the thing. We have on our side, it's a case where we need to get personal terms agreed, medical needs to be done, yada yada yada. On Barcelona's side, it's a case where they have personal terms agreed. They just need the fee to get agreed, and that is a case where, to me, people are saying that people are saying that this situation is going to be a case where he's going to Barcelona 99% finish. But right now, I don't think so, because this doesn't. There's nothing that says that. Well, the people are saying that it's been agreed and Leeds have accepted it, but I don't think Leeds are that stupid to accept a bid where they're gonna have to wait 1 year before they get paid for it. That makes no sense. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if Leeds are smart, they'll look at the situation that Barcelona still owe Coutinho's ex club, Liverpool, 29 million. That is not something you can ignore, because a situation like this it's not like it's a one-time thing with Barcelona. They've done it with De Jong, but they still owe Ajax money. So those are two red flags. So if Leeds accept it, it means that they're not thinking logically, and they know, and they just want to give us free money. If the case is where they have to pay compensation fee, because none of this makes sense in terms of the financial part of it. You cannot be
Nope.
accepting a bid when you need the funds to start adding more players to the team to replace certain profiles that you're going to be losing. Calvin Phillips, they need to replace him because they have him as a key person in that
They
team.
have. They have. They have. They replaced him already.
Well,
Yeah,
well, in that case,
yeah. Go ahead, Ty.
if they have replaced him, they still need that money. They need to recuperate that money back. I
Yeah.
know, get back that funds, because that they need to be spending and getting back that fee, or getting some level of it back, to have that for planning for the future, in terms of if they want to add more depth to their team, and try to reduce the chance of them getting into a relegation scrap like last season, because they've lost Bamford because of that injury and everything, and they were short in terms of strikers and things like that, and not them not being on the highest level. So to me, although people are saying this, I just don't believe that if it's a case where the Barcelona have offered more than us, maybe then he's leaving. But I just don't see that right now because they don't look like they have the money. And the first indication is the fact that they are asking that they pay through installments and starting next year, which is foolishness. So that is why to me there's a lot of red flags.
Here's overall what I want to get from you, Ty. Overall, you think it's not going to happen? Is that what you're saying?
That is not what I'm saying.
Just to make us understand. That's what I want to know. What you're saying right now, it hasn't happened, even if it is possible.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened. If it's going to happen, it's not happened yet.
Yep. Again, that's a good. Yeah, that's a very good argument right there. Again, if you're watching, we have 270 people watching, and I think we haven't reached 150 likes. We're at 147 likes. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That will go a long way in helping the channel reach its target. Thank you very much. I can't thank you guys enough. Anyway, this is a good comment here from DL, who says you need to understand that three parties has to be happy: selling club, buying club, and the player. It is not only about the money. Again, yeah, that's understandable. But again, the truth is we're all frustrated, and it's easy for us, to just rant maybe sometimes and make sense and sometimes not make sense. But overall, you can argue we're all just trying to make sense of the whole situation, and it just doesn't add up. But that's, by the way, if it is possible, we can just move on from that. But it's not easy. This is like an elephant in the room. No matter how you try to avoid it, you'd still have to see it. But that's, by the way, I think, and here Melvin says it's fake news. There's a chance it is, but let's just move ahead.
Says it's true. Ben Jacobs just it's agreed and confirmed.
Sorry, Ben Jacobs says what?
It's that let me see if I can find it. It says that Raphinha his Leeds and Barcelona have reached an agreement.
Oh shit!
Yes,
language, please. Again,
Leeds United and Barcelona have reached an agreement tonight for Chelsea target Raphinha with a deal worth close to 75 million euros. Which means then that if the conversion of that is right, I think that would quite that would by a little margin probably surpasses Chelsea's own. If the calculation is right, I think it depends on the conversion rate that you use, but I think that's possibly 65, 66, probably less than that in pounds. So maybe I don't know. This whole thing is confusing.
Yeah, it is. It's not easy to understand. You'd have to take your time, sit back, get a pen and paper, or maybe some calculator to get, understand the situation. But that's why I think we should actually move ahead from it. Ty, again, we've talked about Ligt. We're hearing, again, everything we've heard that he says he wants to join Bayern. He prefers joining Bayern Munich over Chelsea. We're finding out it's absolute nonsense. And that again, the truth is Bayern may have started talking with him a while ago, but that doesn't mean they're going to get him. We'll learn from Fabrizio Romano today that the Bayern, the Bayern president or director will be traveling to Italy tomorrow to try to start negotiations with Juventus. And also Fabrizio said Juve are waiting for opening official bids from both clubs. But if you remember, for the past few days, we've been hearing that Chelsea have went in with a second bid, the first bid, and yada, yada, yada. It turns out those things are absolute nonsense. None of them has actually happened indeed. So anything you're hearing that differ from what that I just said? Ty, you still with us or you gone?
No, I'm still here, man. I didn't hear what you said.
Anything about you? Did you hear anything different about Ligt? Because we're hearing Juve are still expecting the opening bid for the player, but we've been hearing for the past few days that we've gone in twice with the first bid and second bid. It turns out those things were all horse doo-doo.
Um, the only thing I've heard is what everybody else has heard in terms of we have made offers, it was rejected. Then we're seeing that Juventus have asked for 120 million, and then they're
Mm,
pushing it to 95, and then they're pushing it to 75, and then they're doing this and they're doing that. I haven't heard anything differently, and the most recent thing that I saw was that the Bayern Munich, was it the director, is going to meet with Juventus to discuss the
mm,
player,
mm.
but I am not really sure if that means that it's done in terms of that. But apparently, not I can't remember Leeds, no, not Leeds. Juventus are waiting for a bid from both clubs because they haven't received any new bid from any other clubs.
Yep. Again, here we have the poll says, do you think Raphinha will still come to Chelsea? 52% still believes still he will come, while 48 I think thinks otherwise. But we'll see. Again, if he's gone, he's gone. Again, let's move on from him. Ty, again, coming back to the need talk, I think nothing has happened. We also heard that he wants to come to Thomas Tuchel, that he likes how he trains his coaches and all those, blah, 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 blah. But that's, by the way, Ty, I want to know, I don't have clarity yet. I think I asked that question in the morning. It was Rodrigo who tried to explain to me why Broya hasn't traveled yet, but we heard that he's going to join them in a week. What did you hear? Why didn't he travel with them in the first place?
Who?
Armando Broya.
There's a situation.
What?
There's
Sorry, go ahead.
there is a situation where there are clubs interested in him. He's still trying to find out the plans for him
Mm-hmm.
in terms of if he's gonna be trusted, is he gonna be getting game time? Is he going to be a player that too considers to carry into his squad into
Mm-hmm.
the next season? So the plan is that, like the situation with Aspi, despite him being linked with a move away, like Ziyech being a part of the squad as well, and he also being linked with a move away, Broha's situation will not be resolved in terms of if he's going to get sold or not
Mm-hmm.
until maybe after the tour. So I think in that sense, he will be meeting with the team very soon, and then they'll be meeting differently. I don't think there's really much different in it to say that he's getting sold, so that is why he's staying. It's a case where some will not be on the plane, and they'll be traveling separately and by themselves. So this doesn't mean that Dujon Solu may not be a part of the squad. He could, but I think based on the amount, the size in terms of who could have traveled, because not only players, we also had other people like coaches and the media team and things like that that have to be there as well. So even though things like that, I think maybe it's not a case where Dujon Sterling and Ian Matheson may not be a part of the squad. I just think it's a case where they are traveling separately, and then maybe then we'll see them. I don't think it's a case where they may be getting sold or going out on loan, because if that's the case, it won't be resolved until after the tour, and that isn't anytime soon.
Again, thank you very much. Again, if you're watching, we have 236 people watching, and we have 166 likes. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you very much. I can't thank you enough, and I must let you know this. I keep saying it over and over again. I'd rather you like the video than you donate to the channel, because you're doing enough by being part of the conversation, being in the chat, telling people about the channel, and also watching even when you're not typing. Those things do go a long way for the channel. So thank you for 167 likes. But remember, we're shooting for 300 likes, and we're not far away. The show ends soon, so let's see if we can get it there. If you haven't, take a second to like the video. If anybody asks you to pay, tell them True Blue had already paid for you. It is free. Again, says here says Barca has found the new Xavi and the new Iniesta. Europe is afraid. Okay, yeah, he's the best fan talking here. Probably he knows the Chelsea fans are concerned. And Chidi or Kachukun nice to see you here. He said tomorrow is deadline for again. No, it's passed already. From what we're hearing, I think it's confirmed. He's joining Barca, and that's it. I'm actually waiting to see because I heard again how long ago the Raheem Sterling is done with the medicals. He's waiting for the result, and I hope he gets a clean bill of health that he's fine. Then he will fly to the U.S. To join his teammates again. I hope that happens soon. Maybe that would distract us a bit because right now it would take like the whole day and tomorrow to get Chelsea fans off the fact that Raphinha in the end hasn't joined us. He'll be going to Barcelona according to what we're hearing. There's no telling whether that's the truth yet, but I think it's looking like he's not going to come to us again. Surprisingly, from the poll, 52% still believes it come to Chelsea Football Club. But we'll see what happens. Again, if you're watching, we still have 235 people watching and we have 174 likes. We need just 26 more likes to get to 200 likes. We're shooting for 300. Let's see if we get there by the end of the show. Dr. MK7, again, if you're in the chat, if you have any question right now, shoot and we'll try to address it. If not, we'll let you know. Let's take the L for both Raphinha and Dembele and move on. I think Bobby said that a minute ago, a while ago. And move on. We look desperate. We're desperate, actually. We can't hide it. We're desperate, especially when you talk about defensive reinforcement, because we're losing about 4 players in that area. So with whatever club we'll go to and say we want this defender or that defender, they know we need a defensive reinforcement, and will be asking us for an arm and a leg. But we'll see what happens. Probably better talents. Again, we'll see what happens again. RJ says this tweet is going to be big. Which one? I don't know. You let me know about Kante, please. There's nothing new. The only thing I saw in the morning is that we pushing it to get the deal over the line. And also I heard from my friend True Blue that Manchester City now wants to sign Jules Kounde. It just seems as if they're waiting for us to pay them for Raheem Sterling or maybe Netanyahu to get the money to go for Jules Kounde. And Ty, quickly, I was going to ask this question. Cucurella, the talks there a month ago or so was that he was going to join Manchester City. That hasn't happened. Why aren't we talking about him?
I mean, you can never know. Maybe we're talking to him. Maybe it's a case where we're discussing him. But I mean, I think he made it clear that he wants to join Man City, and I mean, I don't think Brighton are gonna get in the way as long as the fee is the price tag has been met by Man City because they signed him last summer. So I don't think they're gonna be accepting just 50 million or 20 million. They're gonna ask for a lot, which is why I think that they do have the funds to get the players. The Sterling fee that we paid will give them that amount that are supposedly being quoted by Brighton, so that means that they can. But you never know. Maybe the club spoke to him, said that okay, we're in need of a competitor for Chilwell. So why don't you come here? You look as if you're a valuable player and you could be key for this team. And maybe he said that he has his eyes set on Man City, and you can't blame the guy. The guy sees probably may see Man City as the most ideal club to go if he wants immediate success, which any player that looks at City will say that, oh, I can go to this club and I'm guaranteed some level of success. There's some possibility that I win the league, probably win a domestic competition as well. So it's something that a lot of players will look at and say that I want immediate success, so I'm choosing City. But I mean, we could have discussed with him, but I just think that maybe the club are probably taking the L in terms of that and looking at other options. And I think they do have a lot of options, but you're not short in terms of quality, in terms of looking at left backs or right backs or wing backs or anything. So they're looking at other players, I think. But the question is, will they sign one this summer or will they look to do that next summer if the outcome of whether if they keep Emerson or not is the same, or if they decide to trust a left back that they already have at the club. It all depends on what happens.
Again, I'm going to say here, Larry Brooks says he's still in faith. He will join Chelsea. Again, there's no miracle here. No miracle is going to happen here. I think the race is over. We're not getting him. Let's move on. There's a chance Todd Boehly probably knew this was going to happen. I think he's not stupid. And there's no way they talked during that meeting that Raphinha will not come, will not be discussed. But that's, by the way, again, it's happened, and we have every right to rant. We have every right to express our disappointment. Again, we must move on. Don't dwell on it too much. We knew before time. And again, I had a conversation with a very good friend of mine, and I think it has happened the way he wanted it to happen. His argument, Mikhail, by the way, is who I'm talking about. His argument is that, again, if Barca must get him, they must pay more than we've offered Leeds United. And I don't think the Leeds accepted anything less. If they accepted anything less, then Todd Boehly must know about it, and there must have been some measure of agreement or deal with Todd Boehly and Laporta, who is the Barcelona president. But that's, by the way, again, I want to stop talking about it. But like I've said, this is no different from an elephant in the room. No matter how you try to avoid it, you'd see parts of it, or the elephant anywhere you try to hide. But that's, by the way, Barcelona wants to keep both Raphinha and Dembele, and both players have agreed to join. Again, teaches you not to believe anything you read out there. We were made to believe that they're able to accommodate only one of the two and not both. But we're seeing different now. Dembele will probably put pen to paper and re-sign for Barcelona. Icar John Francis says Raphinha will come to Chelsea. Yeah, again, you have every right to dream. We'll see. Dembele worked hard to show his value recently, but none of the clubs who were interested in him offered him a proper contract. Even Chelsea, we offered something less. So good comment right there. They don't see him as a smart business for obvious reasons. Again, Chelsea rejected left, right, and center. This club, again, is that what you're thinking? Because we missed out on Raphinha. Again, just remember, I told you this, like I've always said from last week till now. By the time the window shuts, we will, have a good transfer. We will see Barcelona new players are not even registered. Some of them, a lot of them at this point, you could say Raphinha 70% to Chelsea. Where did you hear that? Is Jules Kounde again? Can calm down. I don't see that happening. Dembele is injury prone. So many clubs don't fancy taking that risk, and plus all that issues I don't want to talk about right here. And Barca wants they want Lewandowski too. How will Barca pay for these players? They have money. They're in debt doesn't mean they cannot. They have ways. They sell their assets. They get quite a lot of money, and they're able to facilitate their transfer activities. Again, even better than most clubs. That again, there are other issues they have. They're trying to be wise with their spendings. They still owe players money. Again, it just doesn't make sense if you take time to look at it. But I don't want you to even try it. But you get even more confused. So, Bobby, anything else you want to say again before we move on? It says, how can you say Barcelona have decided to keep Raphinha? Raphinha was never, ever a Barcelona player. So, I get the argument. I think Bobby has left us. Is he still there? Again, right now.
Sorry,
go ahead.
What's that, me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, anything else you want us to talk about other than that? Do you have any other update for us? Because I really do want us to move on from this Barca, conundrum, if you want to put it like that.
Yeah, I think we can move on. There's no point talking about it anymore. I've removed my mind from Raphinha. I think every Chelsea fan should do the same thing. If a player doesn't want to come, he doesn't want to come. There are other players out there that we should be looking at. And my hope is that Barca continues signing as many players as can possibly be signed and continue owing even more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get your argument. You're really not happy with them. I'm waiting to see if we'll get to see the result, to hear that Raheem Sterling, the results of his medicals are out. Again, I want to see that, but I haven't seen anything like that. Again, if you're watching that, we have 203 people watching, and we have 183 likes. We need 17 more likes to get to 200 likes. Our target, is 300 likes, but I know we can do better than that. So if you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. If you're in the chat, if you have any questions, shoot. We will try to address it because we'll be rounding up in a bit to Chelsea. No, it will not happen. Players, I wouldn't want to say that. Let us news Dembele. Just we've seen that ourselves. We need an MD in our team now for backup again. Anything else here? Barcelona don't have the money to buy Raphinha. Watch this whole saga play out because Leeds cannot be struggling along forever. We'll see. It's a movie that I've been following from the start, and I'm not going to look away until it comes to an end. Chelsea will not take. Again, I say, can you guys imagine having a Dembele and a Raphinha as Again, that's by the way. Ty, I want to ask you this question: what happened to the links with Sangare?
They just die down. It's as simple as that. They die down. It's like we were saying, you know what? It's either we go for this player or it's no one at all. I just think
something with the links to this brother on the screen. We haven't heard anything for a while.
They've died down. You know, the only thing that will make me feel positive about this is that it goes down quietly. And then we end up looking at them as main targets. That's the only positive I can see from this. Because it's always the ones that go down secretively and the ones that are always, they get these big updates. Sterling was a news that only came out in June. And now we're hearing that it was just something being discussed for May. So I think that it's a case where we need to be careful with what we believe. And that's why I keep saying, take all reports with a grain of salt. Because you're going to be here, we're linked with these players, and then we don't get them at all. It's either sometimes people talk, or simply the player just doesn't want to come to the club. And that is why I've been saying this to people I've been speaking to is, if these players don't want to leave their club, or if they don't want to come to this club, then that's their problem. We don't need them because it's not a life or their situation. The club has, and Bobby mentioned this in the early morning show, and it's something that is key and something that we need to remember. We got top 4 when every other rival or every other team, even teams that you look at to get relegated, we're saying that we're not getting top 4. We're gonna be lucky if we get hired on top 10. So that is the case where, even if we don't get players in, we have quality. We have the academy for a reason. The academy still exists because they have quality there. And if it wasn't for the quality in our academy, so many teams would not be interested in our hot prospects or the players that actually are coming through every year and impressing other clubs. We've seen Tino Livramento go to Southampton. We've seen Tarek Lamptey go there. And yes, in some cases, we've signed some of them when they were 13 or 14 or whatever. But there's a lot of them who've been at the club since they're 6, 4, 9, 8. And they've come through and they've showed great love for the club. And those are the ones that are passionate for the club. They wear their hearts on their sleeve, as people have to say. So if they don't come, that's their problem. But we have players that we can rely on until maybe we can have some attractiveness. Because the team that people are comparing to us now, they didn't just start off being attractive. Liverpool were attractive in the past. They had to slowly build back a name for themselves in the current era in order for clubs to be interested, in order for players to be interested in the club. And in that sense, the same can be said for Man City. Man City and Chelsea were in a similar boat where they were getting relegated. They were not really being looked at as title contenders. And then eventually they won the domestic leagues of what they were in. And then eventually they grew as a team, ownership change and everything. So if they don't want to come to the club, that's their choice. We can build a name for ourselves without those players. And we should be all looking at players who want us. If it's a case where they're considering us and they're considering of the club, that's fine. But if it's a case where they're pushing for it, then you know that that's a lost cause. We move on. And I remember what Bobby was saying earlier in the window was that if a player is joking around, we move on and go to somewhere else. We need to have that attitude. We can't be waiting. And the only unfortunate thing about it is that we stuck around for Raphinha for 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks, hoping that things could change. And in the end, he chose to go to the club where he had a dream move to. And I mean, I can't hate the guy for wanting his dream move, because we all have dreams and we all have things that we want to pursue.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ty, here's the thing. Again, like I said, this is just like an elephant in the room. You cannot avoid it. But that's by the way. I think we should just move on. Again, that brings to mind what somebody, I think, who was it that said it earlier, that Chelsea's plan is to try to get either Dembele or Raphinha, and if that doesn't work, we'll go for Raphael Leon. Your thought, is he a player you want to see because he's expensive? The buyer clause on Raphael Leon's contract is 140 million. I know we won't pay that much money if we're serious about getting him, and we've been promised 3 marquee signings. I don't think we have. Maybe Raheem counts of what's one. I know Bobby thinks otherwise. But my question is, what do you think about the player, Ty?
He is a good player. The thing is, it's not a decision I would love to see the club do, because the consequences if he comes and struggles is very high. It's going to be that, we spend this amount of money on him, and Chelsea cannot find a long-term fix. They love to spend big money. And I mean, that's, if people want to say that, that's fine. But we cannot keep spending big money with little assurance that these players are going to be coming in and striving. And I keep stressing this. There's a small or little chance that any player that comes in struggles. There's a situation where it is possible. And the thing is, the signings that cost little to nothing or cost us 40, 30, 20 million, those are the ones that work out long term. Those are the that are beneficial to the team. Rich James benefited. The only thing we have to do is pay him wages. We didn't have to sign him from a different club and spend big for him. And he's a player that we have to value. And it goes back to the point of relying on the academy at that very point to it. And that's why I keep looking at the transfer ban as a blessing in disguise. Because if we're not able to get these players in, we can go back to that attitude of saying, you know what, we're losing certain players that added unison to the team and gave us that leadership skill. We need to find new leaders. We need to look at the academy again and do that. So Raphael Leon, he is a good player, but for that amount of money, that is a big risk to take, especially when we've spent that recently for a player in an Italian league, and it didn't work out. And that is something that I just don't want to see the club do, because it's unfortunate, and it would be disgraceful if he comes and he flops and we spend yet again big amount of money on him. So I think it's better to look at cheaper options, which they are, and those cheaper options are quality as well. We just need to believe that, are they good enough for the team, or should we be going for these players because they actually look like they add great value to the team, and they have that winning mentality, and they have that pushing attitude where my team is not doing anything, I'm going to be the hero for them when no one else can. Those are the attitude that we need.
The only problem with Chelsea is that it doesn't look like we have that culture. Maybe it all comes down to the scout we have at the club. It doesn't look like we have that culture of looking for talent that have not been discovered, or talents that are not in the limelight, if you want to phrase it that way. For instance, a perfect example is Jonathan Klaus. For £8 million, £8 million, 11 assists, about 5 goals this past season, and we're not serious. And now we're hearing he's going to Olympique Marseille. So what's going on? It just doesn't look like, it looks like at Chelsea, it has to be expensive for the player to be good. If it's not expensive, there's always that argument that player isn't good enough for us. You get my argument now, Ty. So again, that is something that, I've thought about it, and we actually had the show here. I think Bobby participated in that show. We talked about it. Good player doesn't have to be expensive, but unfortunately, It looks like that has been the culture at that club. That player has to be expensive before we believe that they're good. Except for Aspilicueta, there's hardly any player we've gotten for cheap that's that good. A few of them you could argue, given what Eden Hazard achieved at our club, we got him for cheap for 35 million or so. But why didn't we go for £8 million for a player who is openly, said how much he loves the club? He's a big fan of Chelsea, and it's on video. It's not like it's been made up. Maybe we're still talking about him. I don't know. I'm just going to move on to the next topic. Bobby, I heard you said something about this guy here, De Jong. I think he's a player we want, and you've been calling for us, to seek changes in our midfield, to have a more, quality players in our midfield, players that can create more chances to score goals and then be physical and not be muscled off the ball. I think this guy is your guy. I don't know your thoughts, Bobby. And before Bobby starts speaking, we have 178 people watching, and we have 193 likes. Just 3 more to get to 200. Okay, the target was to get to 300 likes, but it doesn't look like we're gonna make it. Surprise me if we can. I take it, but I can't thank you enough. I'd be ungrateful not to thank you for 194 likes. You guys are absolute legends. So thank you for 195 likes now. Thank you for hitting my call to please to answer my call to like the videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you haven't, also do subscribe to the channel. Every day we have what's called Blue Morning Show. It starts 11 a.m. in UK every day, and you don't want to miss it. It's a brilliant show. And if you watch it once, you're never going to stop watching it. So, Bobby, tell me what you think about De Jong. I think it's a player we should look to get. And it doesn't look like what's his name? Jorginho is serious about renewing his contract as a club. I think he's learned he can actually wait it out, leave on the free, and get more money, a sign-on fee. Even though we're hearing that Juve are serious about getting him this winter, I don't think he'd like to go. But your thoughts on this young man right here?
To be honest, I don't want us to do any business with Barcelona. There are many dubious things in and around that club. And getting into business with Barcelona at this point in time, it's just going to lead to one protracted transfer saga that we really, can do without. We're a serious club. We have no time to play around, and chasing De Jong is going to be drama. There are other midfielders out there. There's I keep trying to remember his name. The guy in Portugal. Gosh, what's his name?
The Sporting CP guys, Matthijs Nunes.
Yeah, Matthijs Nunes. I've heard, he's not too well known. He's a good midfielder. We should be going for someone like that. I'm tired of Barcelona. I really am. They can do what they do, and we need to stay away from them.
I wouldn't, because here's the thing. I think he's just. I think you're speaking out of frustration. If you ask me, I love you, Bobby. I think you're just mad at them. The fact it's looking likely It's looking likely that they get again. I think that will most definitely be the case. Raphinha will join them.
Honestly, Coach, on this occasion, I'm not speaking out of sentiment at all. I'm not. As I've said, my mind has left Raphinha. I'm not into that anymore. And I am looking at this with very, very clear eyes. Going for De Jong with Barcelona in the state they are in now is going to be drama. Do we need that drama? We need to get our team together, not get bogged down in some kind of transfer saga. We don't have the players to do that. So I wouldn't waste my time, to be honest. This is just brutal practicality. Leave him and go for somebody else.
I think you make a good argument. And again, just one more time about Raphinha. One thing I want to know, everybody, I want everybody that's watching right now to know, there's no chance the club will be looking at Raphinha and not have an alternate plan. There's no chance that happens. That's even that before, even as the moment that is the whole thing was put on hold, the whole thing started stalling. I think that's the moment I think the club might have started looking at the other options that they like, but because we don't know, that's why we're not talking about them. But we'll see what happens. And just remember, I told you here on Chelsea Perspective, by the time the window shuts, we'll be seeing a lot of players that we didn't even know the club, that the board or those involved were talking to. But that's, by the way, coming to you.
The
go
truth
ahead,
is,
Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I find myself. I think we, as a fan base, we've allowed ourselves to get bogged down into journalists and, transfer window madness. I really, really have taken a step back. And all this Raphinha, and there are certain topical issues that keep being recycled. Raphinha is certainly one of them. De Jong is another. There's the guy Martinez that Arsenal and Man United are juggling over. That's another. But there are other transfers out there that can be had. And if the club is worth anything, they should be looking at. So, I backed off all these topical issues because they're non-issues. And, we shouldn't waste our time or energy or effort getting drawn into drama. That's what they want.
Yeah, Ty, let me ask you this. Between Matthijs Nunes and De Jong, which of the players would you prefer? Just put aside that De Jong will probably cost something north of 17 million or so. Plus, I'm hearing, I think it was True Blue that said something in the chat yesterday or this morning. I think the salary, part of his salary that Barcelona are owing him, will be structured into the transfer fee. Again, Matthijs Nunes is valued around 45 or 35 to 45. So, but just look strictly at their playing abilities. Which of them do you think will be better for us?
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I hope that people don't take it the wrong way. I am going to say that the better option, to me at least, is Matthijs Nunes. No, it's not because of this whole Barcelona situation. I just don't think that in terms of what we want in the midfield or what we're crying for, figuratively, it's a case where Matthijs Nunes offers more. Well, that is what I can say, at least from what I see of him in the Portugal league. He is a player. I think a lot of people have compared him to Kovacic, but he also has that defensive side in him. Yes, he's made a couple of mistakes at a situation where he played against Man City and he was pretty poor. But I mean, that's one game, and everybody has an off game. And I mean, he did good in that game. He just had a little mistake. He made a little mistake here, but it did lead to a goal. Kovacic himself, despite how much I think he's an excellent player, has made mistakes. Modric made mistakes. These midfielders actually do make these mistakes, and he's still young. He's 23, I think. So I think in that sense, he's still young and he's still learning. And when a player like that is of that quality and of that price and is showing great attractiveness, I think it's something you don't turn down. And I mean, compared to De Jong, who people are looking at and saying, I don't want to negotiate with Barcelona, that there's no issue around Matthijs Nunes. He is a player who is Brazilian by birth and plays in the Portugal league. The only issue that I think people may see is the fact that yes, he's in the Portugal league. Yes, Portugal-based teams have these quality players, and especially Sporting do. I think people look at De Jong and say De Jong is doing good. He can create, he can do things. But when you look at both situations, Matthijs Nunes can also do that. He's a quality player, and I mean, even if Chelsea don't go in and approach him, if he gets a move to a big club, he's going to prove that that he's a good player and he has great potential. But I just think that in terms of not because of the money thing, but based on the quality and based off what he offers overall, he would add a bit more than what De Jong would. De Jong is quite similar to Jorginho, but he also has he's quicker than Jorginho by a bit, and also he creates as well. But I think overall, Matthijs Nunes is the better option in terms of getting himself out of tight situations and and using initiative to get the best scenario to be a successful one.
Here's what I think. I have to be honest with you. I think from what you just talked about, it just occurred to me. I think that both, they differ. They're not the same. De Jong is more, that is an upgrade to Jorginho. He can do what Jorginho does, but even better. While Nunes is more like Kovacic, which means we can actually have them both in the team. Your thoughts?
Yes, we can, but right now we cannot because we have a lot of midfielders. And in order for that, because people right now,
we have a lot
Bakayoko
of
is
midfielders. Do you think they will all stay? And what those you talking
no,
like
they won't all stay, but we do need.
But are they all good enough? Can you answer that question while you talk about it?
All of them aren't. Bakayoko has proven that he's not good enough. The indication that, and I keep going back to this, the fact that AC Milan subbed him in, he made a mistake and they subbed him off. That's a red flag in itself.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a good player, and Chelsea have been trying to offload him, but the agreement has always collapsed based on the fee that we're asking for. But I do think that in terms of that, we can offload them. The issue is that we have so many midfielders, whether or not they are DMs or not, we have midfielders that are in the squad that is not easy to get rid of because clubs are simply not willing to pay the amount that is being asked for, and that is an issue from Chelsea. Yes, it's possible to get both of them, but it also depends on how much the club wants to spend. People will say that look at the situation with Raphinha. We were able, the club were able to offer 60 million for him, which means that they're not joking. They have the funds in terms of making these bids out of nowhere if they have a genuine interest. But I do think that in a sense, it takes axing certain midfielders first before you could even consider both of them. I think right now, based on the situation, we could only get only one of the two.
We'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for 205 likes. It's not easy at all. You guys are absolute legends. I appreciate you all. And if you can, please, whenever you get a chance, tell people about the Chelsea Perspective. Again, don't miss the Blue Morning Show. It hosts every day, 11 a.m. UK. And believe me, it's a brilliant show. We're like family here. We'll learn from each other. The panelists learn from those in the chat because it's an that is interactive and inclusive show. The panelists talk, and we also look at those the inputs in the chat, answer questions, read their updates because those in the chat also do update everyone that's part of the show. So it's interactive, it's inclusive, it's a show you don't want to miss. It hosts every day, 11 a.m. UK. Please, again, if you haven't, keep liking the video. Again, we have 180 people watching and we have 207 likes. We can do better than that. If you haven't, please do take a second to like the video. The poll that asks, do you want De Jong at Chelsea? 65% says yes, and 35% says no. Again, but we'll see. We can't. We just don't know what they are planning or what they're doing in the market until we see the players start coming in. Again, the case of I must say this, and I've said it before. That's the moment you see Raheem Sterling holding the shirt and the statement is out. Believe me, and you could argue already that is the floodgate has been swung open. And believe me, the signings will start coming in. So calm down. Yeah, it's looking like we're going to miss out on Raphinha, but that's not the end of the world. It may well be a blessing in disguise. You don't know. Again, it's not a priority. The priority it should be the defensive area, and I hope the club gets that sorted out as soon as possible. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bobby, I want to get your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today. And except if you have anything else you want us to talk about, go ahead, shoot for it. Let's discuss it.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why I don't want to go near De Jong is, despite the fact that, yes, he is a good player, is that I just know it's going to be drama. And clearly Barcelona want drama. They want the attention. They want the publicity. And,
Mm.
I don't want us to be involved with that. Leave them alone. They are a desperate club in desperate times. And anything that can bring any kind of attention to them that they can spin to their advantage, they will use it. So leave De Jong. He's not the be all and end all. And go for Nunes. And I'm sure there are other defenders midfielders, especially defensive midfielders, that we can be looking at.
Yeah, I get your argument. So your overall is that you want to say anything else? So that's it for you today.
Sorry?
You want to say anything else? Is that's it for you today?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Raphinha, we should completely get him out of our mind. We've been dragged into enough about that. And if he's off to Barcelona, he's off to Barcelona. Then he's not the only player in the world that can play in that position. And it's time. I don't know what kind of scouting system we have. I don't want to complain about that now, but it's time we showed that we are indeed looking at other options, which is what we should have been doing anyway.
Again, before I go to Ty, I usually set up an automated stream. It will be going on its own. What you see is something like this. Again, the screen you're looking at is what you'll be seeing. The panel nobody will be there to speak to you, but I'll be watching your inputs in the chat. I'll highlight them, respond, and if there's any breaking news, I will come, turn on the camera and speak with you. But it will run on its own, so I want you to look out for it. It helps, it's a streamlines the Twitter feed of all the big names that carries the Chelsea news. Again, thank you for 212 likes, and we still have 176 people watching. So if you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. Right now we have 3,910 subscribers. We need 90 more subscribers to get to 40 subscribers. So I think we may well get there even before the next Blue Morning Show, or by the end of the day tomorrow. Again, thank you for all the likes. And Ty, your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today.
Yeah, this we have gotten closure, like I saw somebody just say.
Closure indeed. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we've gotten closure because this has been done for 2 weeks and it should have been done in particularly days. But we already know where the priorities lie and everything. But anyways, I don't want to speak much on that. The situation with the midfield, I've always said that is important. And to me, I think the defense and the midfield is more important than the attack. We have attackers. And I think that people need to remember that all these attackers cannot be this bad. It has to be a case where they don't have people that would actually help them. So if you get midfielders, you never know. They could actually start to turn up. We can't ask everybody. I mean, we see what Werner can do for Germany when he has players around him that make it easy for him to score goals. And Gundogan does it. Goretzka does it. You have a lot of people that trust him and give him that boost and give him that confidence. Gnabry does it as well on some occasions. So you need to look at the fact that if you get a midfielder in, we never know. It could open up a different result in terms of these players. So I mean, we can. It's a situation where right now we can't sell Ziyech without having a backup lined up. I don't want to use the word backup in that sense, but I mean like somebody to replace him, to replace that slot that will be left. So in that sense, that is another situation. But with De Jong, we're linked with De Jong. We were reportedly offered him, which I don't think that's the case, so we should accept that because it's something that was offered to us. But I mean, right now it's a key situation where we just have to wait and see what the club do. I think they have their backup options. It's just about which one they choose, because you cannot have only a plan A and not plan for it to crumble, and you're going to need a plan B, C, or D, and probably in some cases a plan E. So in that sense, I think the club probably prepared for this, especially considering that they were made it clear of the Raphinha situation. And you never know, maybe the media will come out that Raphinha did something and then it will just fuel people's anger. You never know. That's what the media love to do. and it made us come up in the next couple of years again and saying that this happened. But anyways, with everything, we just need to be, just be collective, and try to just look past the situation. It's unfortunate that we were entertained for so long with the situation, and only for us to leave MGN. But I mean, it's better. At least we tried. No one cannot say that we didn't try. It was just that in the end, is what the player chose, what his agent wanted for his client, and we just have to accept it. That's all we can do. But it was a good stream despite the circumstances, despite the breaking news that was bombarding us all. But it was nice to be on for the time that I was able to be on, and to keep myself composed. So thank you for that. And this was therapy for me as well. So it's always therapy, and it's good.
I think if you check the description section, I've added Ty Talks YouTube channel link. Please take some time, go check out his channel. I think you will love it. He has some brilliant content there, and I thank you guys enough for 213 likes. And if you're watching, please go follow Bobby on Twitter. You can see his Twitter handle, Bobby Smoky Signal. If you search that name, I think there's only one person that goes by that name. And again, be sure to follow him, and I also add information in the description section once it's already. Follow Ty Talks also on Twitter, and of course follow Chelsea Perspective on Twitter. And if you want to join us as a panelist, send me a message via Instagram or Twitter. Let me know you want to be part of the panelists here, and we'll be launching a sister channel soon before the World Cup starts. Again, the branding process is progressing very well, and very soon the channel launches. So again, I cannot thank you guys enough for 215 likes. That's not easy. You guys are absolute legend. And right now we have 3,917 subscribers. We're not far away from 4,000 subscribers. So I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you to all the panelists in the chat who's helped to keep things clean there. Again, we had Just Viola, the queen of the house, but she's gone home. But one final thing I want to ask of you guys, who have two of our beloved members here. And this is one, Street Beer, who informed us he has little time to leave. I think it's cancer. So if you do believe in God, please do pray for her. Pray that she finds a strength, that she goes, again, it's not easy. She explained how painful it's been for her, but I need you to take some time whenever you can. Just use the name Street Beer. If you call unto God, I know God will know who you're talking about. And we have Liam Lane, who contracted COVID-19, and he says he's been struggling with it, but he feels a bit better right now. He's getting better and better. He's becoming stronger. Please do pray for them both. And I can't thank you enough if you are able to do that. So again, thank you for all the love and support that you've shown this channel. I cannot thank you enough, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another evening show, or the Blue Morning Show, and all emergency streams, and also follow the automated stream. Thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are absolute legends. God bless us all, and cheers.